It's time to end 2023 with a bang, and we have a special guest to do it, as today we talk about 1987's Bloody New Year. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect the good, the bad, and the ugly of your favorite films and film franchises. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
Hello.
And joining us, once again, is the Almighty, the man I swear to God, we talk about this man every episode, or at least his show every episode. You know I wear the hat almost every episode. I can't gush about this gentleman and his amazing show enough, but we finally have back the legend, Joe La Scola of Movie Dumpster. Welcome back.
That is a very big intro for a very little man. I appreciate that very much, though.
Listen, we have had so many amazing guests on this show, but I think we talk about Movie Dumpster more than any podcast ever. Like, I think we're all avid listeners of your show. We're big fans of you and Sean. And I don't care. I'll gush all fucking episode.
Yeah, I don't take compliments very well, but I really appreciate it. And you guys have supported the show quite a bit. So thank you so much for listening and having me on again. And I couldn't wait to come back on.
Absolutely. It has been. And unfortunately, we don't have Sean because he is down in the Amazon still battling the anacondas with fucking Paul Cerrone down there, fucking baby bird.
Dude. Baby bird's got to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were hoping he could be here, but you know those anacondas need to be put in the chokehold.
Snake. He was fighting that snake.
R.I.P. Sean.
Big fucking snake.
We miss you, Sean. Please come back safe.
I will say, I'm going to speak for him in this instance. If he had to watch this, he'd be so upset.
Oh yeah, sure.
He'd be so upset. He'd be like, "This movie sucks." I know him well enough.
The little side note: what would Sean think of Bloody New Year?
He better comment on this somewhere.
So before we get started, not that listeners of this show have never heard of who's Movie Dumpster. What does Movie Dumpster do? Joe, why don't you tell us who you are and what is Movie Dumpster?
Sure. I'm Joe La Scola, and I'm one half of Movie Dumpster, the other half being Sean O'Rourke. We're just a movie review podcast, and we talk about, the good, bad, the god-awful. Everything from, Munchie to the Hug-a-Bunch or a bunch of 80s horror movies, mostly horror stuff, but we do action movies, weird kid movies and stuff like that. You're thinking Movie Dumpster, right? Well, they're going to shit all over a bunch of movies. Well, no, that's not what we do. We take movies that most people have forgotten, and we kind of dust them off a little bit, and we kind of re-examine them and show them to new people that might have either grown up with them or have never heard of them before. We hope to enlighten some folks to some movies they may have missed or movies that they love and want to talk about or hear about again. So, yeah, that's pretty much the show.
Hell yeah. And all the links to Movie Dumpster will be down in the description. So, I reached out to, we've been trying to get Movie Dumpster back on the show, of course, pretty much since we did the Anaconda episode 70 episodes ago. That's how long it's been.
Shit.
It's been seven.
Has it been 70 episodes since that? Or are you just exaggerating?
This is 100. So today, this is episode 139. We had you guys on for episode 61. So
wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. And Joe, you've been a busy man. I know Sean's been busy. You guys are killing it over there on doing stuff for Movie Dumpster and then everything else you guys got going on. So yeah, we've been trying, and we finally got, at least we got one of you to be here, and we were trying to figure out what to do.
We're just like you guys, We're just trying to make the show, trying to put out the show, trying to do the best thing we can. So how tough it is. So it's tough for all of us.
100%. And so we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do, because this is the final episode of 2023.
Yes,
and so it's this will be out a few days before New Year's, and so it's like, what do we cover? What do we cover? So I reached out. I said, Joe, what do you want? What do you want to cover? And he's like, I don't know. So I said, I literally typed into Tubi. I typed in New Year. Yeah, I will. I listen. We are transparent on this show. Listen, I get my information from Wikipedia or IMDb. Like, I don't do deep research. All right, people know this.
That's fine.
But I went on Tubi. I typed in New Year, and I saw Bloody New Year, and I went, "Yep, that's it." And so I sent it to Joe. I said, "Bloody New Year," and he's like, "Sure."
He wasn't the only one that was trying to come up with a movie. We had a 30-minute discussion.
Yeah, that's about it.
On what we should do, and he's like, "We're doing this," and we're like, "Okay."
I voted for a different movie, mind you. I was fine with this selection, but I voted for that early. What was the train? Mid-Terror Train or some shit like that.
Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that's the one. I was like, oh, I've heard of this movie. We should check it out. Actually, my mom knew about it, which is weird as hell because my mom does not like horror movies at all.
Sure.
And but I was like, whatever. I'm good with anything. But then he mentioned this movie, and I started looking it up, and I'm like, I've heard of this before. And we'll reference the other thing we always reference all the time on the show.
Yes.
Dead Meat. I've watched this on Dead Meat. I didn't even think nothing of it until I started watching clips. Like, I've seen this before somewhere. So,
you saw the parts that counted. Yeah.
It was
yes.
Yeah, the kill count was definitely how I was introduced to this movie. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was going into. And
I had a feeling it was either going to be Bloody New Year or it was going to be New Year's Evil, one of the two.
Well, I mean, we already got our choice for next year, baby. But when I'm thinking Movie Dumpster, I was thinking Bloody New Year, 100%. I mean, there was a bunch of choices I could have picked that would have fit your criteria, but come on, man, this movie.
It's a fucking wacky one, dude. I'll tell you what. From the same guy who I don't know if you're going to go into it, but the same guy who did Inseminoid and Alien Prey. Have you guys seen either of those movies?
I want to see Inseminoid so fucking badly, and it's just
Inseminoid's
because of the
a trip.
name. I'm just like, oh,
it's a trip.
Please.
So, Bloody New Year was directed by Norman J. Warren, who started his career doing softcore porn, and
like you do.
Yeah, and he wanted to get away from it, and not for the reason that you would think. He didn't want to go away from it because of all the sex. There wasn't enough story. He wanted more story in his movies, so he ended up getting into these B-rated films and all that. And so he did Inseminoid. He did. Is it called just Prey? Because I've seen it called.
It's called Prey, but I think the tape I have is called Alien Prey. I actually first heard about that on badmovies.org, like back in the day when I was a kid. That's a fucking weird one, man. It's like a wolf alien that hangs out with these two lesbians in this cottage and kind of learns about being a human. It's weird.
That's very weird. That seems like an odd situation.
It's weird.
I mean, it's fine, but it's just an odd situation.
Yeah. It's totally weird.
He also did acclaimed movies as Satan's Slave and Terror from 1978.
I haven't seen either of those.
And a sex comedy called Outer Spaced oh wait, did we talk about Outer Space or Spaced Out? I swear to God, we did. We covered a movie where the director had directed a movie called Spaced Out. Can't remember.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, probably was on our shitty Tubi show. The show's not shitty. The movies we watch are generally shitty. Maybe
some of them are good.
It was written by Fraser Pierce and his, I'm guessing, brother Hayden Pierce.
What happened?
It was the ghost, man. I told you it was the cloaking device.
Yeah, the mirror
there's
ghost.
some people walking through parallel dimensions in the dungeon.
It was that Thanksgiving turkey head and the banister.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh yeah,
That's where I.
yeah. It was
100%. Listen, I don't want to jump that far ahead, but that as soon as I saw that thing, I was like, that is that they modeled the Thanksgiving killing turkey head off of that banister. Because that's
So
what
you
it
bought
looks
that
like.
banister. Here's our mold.
No, I'm over here
100%.
racking my brain. Like, I know I've seen this before. I'm like trying to figure out what animal it is. There it is.
I don't think it's a turkey. I think it's a vulture, but sure.
Yeah. So these writers didn't really do anything other than this. A lot of the actors in this movie really didn't do much other than this movie. A lot of TV work for some of the actors. I'm not really going to go too much into it. The only one I want to mention is Steve Emerson, who was the ride controller who joins the thugs.
Oh,
He's a longtime stuntman who started working in 1962 on Dr. No, and has
nice.
worked all the way up to Edgar Wright's latest film. So Last Night in Soho,
No
he did
shit.
some stunt work. But I think most people would probably recognize him as the bar owner in Shaun of the Dead.
yep.
Oh.
His name was John.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know. To be honest, didn't know that was him at all. But to be honest, when you see it again, you're like, he hasn't even aged. He looks exactly the same. And that movie came out like almost 20 years
right.
later. That's wild.
The guy who played Nick is in a bunch of stuff too.
He does a lot of voice acting. He does a lot of work in video games now. Like we were just talking before we started recording, he did work for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep. Because you mentioned the name of the guy. I was like, that's the dude from the beginning.
Yeah. What the hell was that movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard?
She's all that.
Oh
no, the space one. Wing Commander. That's it.
Oh,
Wing Commander.
I mean, I went with Parker.
He's in that.
all
Like,
that.
wait a minute.
She's all that.
I thought you were making a Jay and Silent Bob joke there for a moment. I was like, wait a minute.
No.
I really need to make a movie where a hot chick they need to pretend like this hot chick is ugly to then make her hot again. I love those movies. They're so good.
We were doing that a lot in the 2000s, weren't we?
We really were. Put glasses on her. Fuck her hair up.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
now
she-
look, glasses are like a
she's a
thing
nerd.
now.
Yeah, she's horrible.
So the making of this movie is wild. They filmed this off of, on an island off of Wales, and pretty much it was just like the director. This film literally drove the director to not want to direct any more feature films after this. Like
Go back to porn, dude.
pretty much did the whole movie, and then they did a lot of shit behind his back. The music, he didn't want any of the music, which was done by Cry No More, with that catchy ass song in the beginning. So good.
Kind of love it. Kind of love it.
It's so good. But he didn't want any of that. And they were just like, no, we're going to do it anyways. And he was like, whatever. I want nothing to do with this.
They did it on purpose.
The Vinegar Syndrome did the Blu-ray, which I think came out in 2015. And they only could find one reel to transfer, and it was damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, you can actually see damage marks throughout the film, because it literally was like the last one they could find. Literally, there was no other copy of this movie. So good job, Vinegar Syndrome. I don't think that's the version though that was on Tubi, because I don't remember seeing any of those breaks. Yeah, it was definitely a VHS rip.
Do you?
It's a 4:3 rip too.
Yeah.
Do you think that was the? I know we just recorded this, and I don't know if anybody would be had listened to this at that point. But do you think that's the same issue they had when I mentioned when we did Beast from Hollow Mountain? We saw that there was that imperfection in it. You think it was a bad reel when it was redone?
I mean, it could be. I know this was made for TV as well, if I'm not mistaken, or it was direct-to-video.
Direct-to-video,
not made for TV. Yeah.
It was released September 1987 in the UK, and then in October in the US, straight to video. Not too much behind the scenes with this one. So let's get into the plot, baby.
Oh yeah, please.
So as we stated before, this movie opens to just a jamming song. I think it kind of goes something like this.
Shake it up, that's a recipe for romance. That's
Yeah,
That's all I can play because I don't want YouTube flagging that.
But it's like a dude.
So
but we're at like the sock hop though, because it's like, yeah.
You don't know what you're at. Are you at a prom? Are you at a
No.
like, what are we doing here? But then you find out it's a New Year's party. It's going from 1959 to 1960. You're saying goodbye and then saying hello. And everybody's having a good time. They're doing the conga. And then you get a cool little transition from the black and white to the color, where you see our first victim of the movie as she wanders over to a mirror to, I'm guessing, adjust her makeup, and then she just gets quickly yoinked right into the mirror with a really quick little
I was looking down, heard that, looked up, and it had already switched. I was like, what happened?
She doesn't even get pulled in. You kind of see her like get grabbed, and she goes, and then it cuts, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of happens again later in the movie where I think I was writing a note when I thought the event was over between two characters, and then I literally went down to write something, and I heard a scream, and then I look up and it just says like a character screaming, and I was like, what happened to him?
I'm gonna ask
So when you see him later in the
loop,
when you see him later in the movie, you're like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
Was it? I mean, was it the thing with Tom?
Yes.
Okay, that was the same way. I was like,
I didn't want to jump that far ahead, but that's
what
whatever. We're just gonna do it anyways.
Well, we didn't specify. I mean,
No.
the guy might not be dead.
My wife's reaction to this movie was fucking hilarious.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Pretty much, yeah. And
okay, good.
After the movie was over, she looked at me and went, "That was fucking horrible."
Don't give your opinion. We got to talk about
No, I was talking about my wife, not me. She looked at me and said that. I didn't.
I know.
I was laughing my ass
I
off.
wish she would let you record her opinions because
I've tried. I told you guys I've tried.
Would she talk off screen? If you
To
did
me,
no, just
every day.
Record just the audio. Like I'm just gonna record the
I'm
audio.
gonna secretly record her.
Oh,
record
like
I feel so
record
wrong.
yourself.
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. I just want to know your opinion on this movie. And I'm just,
I mean, you don't have to be a fucking like. You're not like shady reporter about
talking to my
this
phone?
shit.
Excuse me, man. What did you think about the movie? Tell me.
You're gonna have a viral TikTok now, is what you're gonna get out of that. Yeah.
Parker's
Maybe
wife.
one day I'll learn how to use that stupid app.
There you go. Parker's wife's opinion on movies is wonderful. We don't get them all that often, but like if she watches it, I always want to know what she thinks about it. It's fucking wonderful.
But no joke, when that scene happens later, when I was like, what happened to that guy? She's like, you need to not look away. Things are happening so fast in this movie. There are so many switches from like one set of like one group to another group, and it's like not subtle either. It's like bang, 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 and you're like, if you look away for a second, you're like, what happened? What happened to fucking Leslie?
And some of them we never come back to at all.
Nope.
And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I was streaming and I was doing my diamond painting and I had to finally just quit. I was like, well,
I gotta pay
just
attention to this.
yeah, I can't look away.
So we meet a bunch of teens hanging out on the beach, and they're going to the fun fair, which I'm guessing is just the British version of a carnival.
Yep.
And we get possibly the most Scooby-Doo sequence I've ever seen.
No, listen, when I first heard this, my first thought was, it's supposed to say Krusty Krab unfair, not Krusty Krab fun fair. I didn't. That's the first. It's like fun fair. What the fuck is this? I was like, oh yeah, we're in the UK. That's fair.
Yeah,
it's not the only
it's a
SpongeBob
fun
reference
fair,
you're gonna
mate.
get.
We're gonna go on the tilty wheel and the scoop doodle and all that other shit.
The one cart roller coaster where you're like this the whole time.
Yeah,
you're literally
where you're
eating
both
the
crammed
fucking
in.
rod.
Just hope to God the dude pushes the stops, the brakes hard enough.
Well, he's like, she could have just jumped out. I'm like, this thing spins.
Oh yeah, we get to.
I've been
that
on
whole
these.
situation.
They spin pretty.
Yeah.
But no, I feel bad for the one little ride that's in the background. It's like a caterpillar and it's like doing this number. Like it looks like it's about to come off the tracks. It's like,
So
man,
this place
nobody's
is still.
in it.
Kid's got whiplash. Yeah.
This place still exists. You can still go to this fun fair or whatever they call it, and
is it like Coney Island? Like what
I
is
guess
it always there?
It's in Wales.
It's the British Coney Island, so it's got to be like raining all the time with much less worse food. I'm assuming.
You
No
don't
offense,
know
British
what
people. No, I'm probably gonna make a lot of jokes about Britain in this one. Not shitting on you guys. I just have to. Marketing.
The crazy thing is they only had to pay like £800 to rent this place for like a week.
Yeah.
For shooting. Like,
They rented it
it's
for a week?
Wild. Yeah.
Oh
It was
my
like
God.
5 days to a week. They rented this place out. It was £800, which is at that time it was like $1,000. Like
What the
nothing.
fuck? Are like people volunteering to like run the rides? Is it like a charity fun fair?
Yeah, unless they just got a bunch of bunch of people who lived around the area and they just brought them in. They were like, "You work here, right? We'll give you a few dollars. Can you
Gave
make
him a
sure
roll
this
of
ride
tickets
goes?"
and we're like, here you go,
Yeah.
go have fun.
Imagine you just see like one of the rides going and it's not a guy who's trained on controlling the ride and he's like, "I'm fucking scared."
Just
They're
pull the
rickety
handle,
as shit.
I don't know what
They're
to
rickety as
do.
shit, and like
Yeah.
that one like ship one that goes like upside
my
down.
God.
No.
You can fucking
Fuck
count me out of that
no.
one.
I'd be
Why
like,
is it
attached
going
to
all
the
the way
British accent
around?
going over.
I don't think it's supposed to do that.
I
There
don't think
used to
so.
be-
Oh,
No,
man.
we used to have a ride at Six Flags when I was a kid. It was similar to the Flying Dutchman, and it would go all the way
Yeah.
around. Scared the shit out
I think
of me.
most
'cause I'm
carnivals
like,
have that same type of ride.
you look at the
Yeah.
ground and
I
you're
think
like,
so.
please do not drop me. And
Just
it goes
as-
very
I don't
slow.
remember ever going upside down. Only like, I mean, vertical,
pretty-
but not like
yeah.
all the way. Not like a full 360.
I don't know if it ever went upside or all the way around, but it hung in the air upside down, and you're just looking at the ground like, I don't want to fall.
It says, don't stand underneath boat. Beware of falling matter. It's like, oh god.
Who signed this guy up to make these fucking signs? Dan's over there like.
Just scribbling
What?
it with pen.
So we go to the weird teacup thing ride that was it what character is this? No, this isn't Janet. This is
Carol.
It's the
Carol.
yank, mate.
yes.
Yeah.
And she's getting bothered by a couple thugs. And literally that's what they are called in this movie, is thugs. They have names.
Well,
but I don't think you ever hear them.
Ace.
There's Ace
Yeah.
and then there's the Bear is the other guy.
Bear.
Yeah.
I figured
Never
the big guy
hear
would be
that
called
name.
the bear, but
No. Well, he was
It's a
the Bear.
shame.
Oh, no, he's just called
the-
Dad.
I-
If you look at the
Or
if you
Pa,
look
right?
on or Pa, yeah.
so I got a question. Like, here's my thought. This is my headcanon on this. So these guys are just picking on this girl, spinning her for essentially no reason. I'm just assuming like they're just spinning her around and they're like, she's like, stop picking on me. And they're like, shut up, Yank. And she just keeps yelling 1776 and they just won't leave her alone about it. Just
It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Like when you first see it, and you're like, "Oh, is that one dude's girlfriend?" And it's like, "Well, no, it's just some chick that's there by herself, being terrorized
Yeah.
by these weird, like, I don't know, carnies."
yeah.
But the
What did they
weirdest
do? I just want to know the context of how this happened. That's all. What did she do?
I don't know.
Well, she
Probably
was just
nothing.
enjoying herself, and these two guys were like, "Haha, let's go mess with this person." I don't
She
know.
was pretty.
But then
She's
you
she's a fucking colonist. We'll get her.
you have the ride operator who comes out, and you think he's going to help her out, and he joins in with the thugs.
I'm so confused.
I'm like, what is happening right now? And like they're fighting on the ride, and then Tom goes and disconnects the ride to stop it, and he takes this piece, and that piece is the reason why this 10-minute long chase sequence happens, where they're running around the fair. Then they go underneath one of the rides, and I just love how Carol and is it Spud or Scud?
Spud.
Yeah, Spud.
Spud.
He
Spud.
just pops out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, this is Carol," and they're like, "Hey, we're literally running for our lives here." They drive a vehicle through it with a boat attached, like through this ride. They hop into
And a
the
bunch
boat.
of soccer balls.
What is
Yeah.
happening right now? You got the thugs hopping on the boat. They're getting kicked off. Dudes are doing flips.
Dude,
I'm like, whoa.
That fucking sequence is so good. They all three of them like surround the dudes before they like go into the funhouse, and they like square up. They're like, "Ah, right, ready for a fucking scrap, mate." And they got like these like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They like have these like chains they wrap around their
Yeah.
hands, ready to beat the
Yeah.
shit out of these
They all
guys.
do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Where did they come
Oh,
They're
from?
very
man.
synchronized.
Yeah.
What is
When they're on the boat though, and they're driving away, that fucking scene's insane. They almost killed that guy, like kicking him off the fucking boat.
Yeah, dude. Like, and the one dude gets his head busted up, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's blood because
That
because
guy
it's-
gets hit by like a ride.
yes. you
Bear
think
gets
about
hit
the
by a
fucking
ride
Oh,
right
Dumbo.
it was
head.
the elephant. Yeah, just like kicked him in the
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, when dude stops the ride, they all just like launch themselves off. You can tell they jump. Like they weren't thrown. They're just like, ooh.
Ooh. Jump on the pad. Jump on the pad.
We also get the fortune teller. I love that. The like two of the girls go and see the fortune teller, and then one of the guys comes in and breaks it all up, crashes it, and then she like picks up something and she looks at it, she's like, "Ah!"
Dude,
Picks up
that
her orb.
scream.
Yeah, it's like a
Dude,
little
killed me.
crystal ball thing
If
that
you're-
she had.
You're watching it right here. Check it out. I didn't notice this when we watched it the first time. It's going over here, and she picks up the orb, and you can tell when she lifts it up, she has like blood in her hand, like for the effect. And when it pans it on the orb, you can see blood dripping out of her hand. So there's like
Oh,
a shot
really?
before you're not supposed to see it when she picks it up, and then
Oh.
Well, I kind
Madame Zelda is
it
what the
makes
sign
me
says on
wonder
her.
Of
that-
course, her name is Zelda.
Absolutely.
I thought she was seeing the future of what's going to
I-
happen to these kids.
I thought so too. But the
So-
eye is bleeding.
So they escape the thugs, and now they're on a boat. Now we're in Jaws 2 here. They're floating away.
This feels like fucking Anthropophagus, man. Like
Dude,
we're like Joe D'Amato somewhere. Like, yeah,
I want to see that movie so bad.
you never saw it.
No, dude, there's so much shit I haven't seen. Badmovies.org, like you. I heard about a bunch of this shit. Like, I gotta watch that
Oh
one
yeah,
day.
man.
You know.
Anthropophagus is great. Well, relatively speaking.
Listen, Joe, I've understand from listening to your show as much as I have. You're like me with like 50s movies. If you've ever listened
Yeah.
to like we got our Patreon show with Monster Zone. Like, I'm so sympathetic to these 50s shows. Like,
It?
I did at a moment.
Yeah, well,
but like,
dude,
but,
Atomic
like,
Age stuff is great.
that's like what I grew up on. So like we just
Yeah.
did like Beast from Hollow Mountain, like I just said, and I'm just like, yeah,
Nice.
as far as I remember. Anyway,
We get a little fiend without a face in this one.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about that one.
I
after.
have
that
it
movie
written
fucking
down.
rules.
I'm
Yeah.
like, we gotta watch it sometime.
It's so good.
I was like, can we just rewind that movie and watch that one instead of the one we're actually watching, please?
Dude, listen,
That one.
I want to make a drinking game out of Attack of the Killer Shrews.
Oh my god.
That dude,
What is it?
there's a character in it. There's a dude, and every time something happens, they're like, I need to get a drink. And he downs like 15, 20 drinks in this fucking movie. I swear, every time something happens.
Is that the one we better go make a drink?
Better go make a drink. Yeah, every time. It's like they take dachshunds, dogs, and just
Yeah.
covered them with fur. Like, it's a shrew. And like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking wild. I love that movie. It's so dumb.
It's bonkers, dude.
So yeah, they're on this boat. They're the Spud is flirting with the American, and
I mean, why not?
then they crash into a rock and the boat sinks.
We'll be able to wade in. What kind of rock is this? Where was this rock?
I don't know. They're only
One
in
of the
like 4
characters
feet
goes-
of water.
One of the character goes, "The floor is wet." I was like,
You
"No
don't
shit."
say.
It goes from like very casual, like, "Oh shit, there's some water in the boat," to, "Oh my god, we gotta go!" And like one of the girls, like, "I can't swim. I'm gonna drown."
What is it?
Someone
Oh,
help me.
it's Janet. Because I'm like, damn it, Janet.
And she jumps out, and they are definitely in like 3 feet of water. So yeah, they're supposed to pretend like they're actually in deeper
Yeah.
water, but they can actually
Yeah.
walk. It's hilarious.
She's
The
like,
boat
so-
doesn't actually sink; it just tips over.
Then they have to
Look
zoom in
at
really
it.
close to show you, oh, it's sinking. It's like, no, you
Yeah.
just pushed it behind you. It's fine.
I wish this was Jaws. I really do. Like, at least Jaws 2 is a misunderstanding. I don't know what the fuck's happening here.
So they get to the shore, and everybody's all wet and pissed off, and they find like a horse skull. They find some barbed wire. There's a sign that clearly says "Danger, keep out," and they're like,
Dude
"Man, we're
fingers
gonna
the
keep going."
skull. He's just
Yeah.
like, I'm like, what the? Stop
The
touching
dude,
things.
the dude was a porn director. He's like, let's get a little
know. I
hole
like-
shot in here.
I feel like it was my kids. I'm like, stop touching stuff.
They find
The
the,
one dude who
wreckage
like
of a
cuts
plane
himself
crash.
on the barbed wire is like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh watch out for that, and it's rusty by the way. And it's like, did you
Yeah.
get your fucking tetanus shot or?
That's what I said. He's gonna die from that.
That's the thing about this movie is that none of the characters, there is no emphasis in anything that happens. Like something would happen, they're like, "Oh darn,
That's
what do
shame.
we do now?" Then you have one
Except for
character
one
who
girl
goes
that
over
kept
the top
crying.
by screaming and running
Yeah.
around with her hands flailed up in the air, like,
Janet.
"Ah!" Like
It's that dry British stuff.
Sure. Give them that benefit of the doubt.
So they find a hotel. And they're like, "Oh, great! We're gonna go in there and get dry and take a bath or something. Everything's gonna be
Change
a-okay."
clothes.
They're very brazen about what they do in this hotel. They're like, we're going to start the fireplace and we're going to go take a
Yeah.
bath and, try on
Steal
these
clothes.
clothes that aren't ours.
There's no repercussions. No one's around.
No.
Except there's probably somebody around.
Oh man. I think the funniest thing is always that misconception of like when you're cold and wet, sneezing is like the first thing that happens to you. And so
Is
you
it?
have Carol who's like, she gets out of the water and she's cold. And she starts sneezing. She's like, "Oh, I'm just cold and wet. Sneezing."
I immediately
They all
got
s-
a cold from this.
Yes.
So they all split up, which always goes well in these type of movies. There's no power. We get the whole thing where I think it's Leslie and Tom. They go to the bar area, and then Leslie sees someone peeking through the window, and she screams. And Tom comes over. He's like,
It's
"What
Joe
is it?"
D'Amato.
And she's like, "There was a face in the window, and then it just disappeared." And I was like, "It's a weird way to describe you saw a creepy man in the window."
Yeah. You could just say there was somebody there and they
There was
ran
somebody
off.
there.
It'd be another way to describe it.
I was like,
blinked
"Ma'am,
and
your
they were
explanation
gone."
took 30 seconds. I could have went outside and checked to see if he was still there by the time
At
you were done
least- well,
talking."
He does, and it takes another 3 minutes for the guy to go outside, see who's there, nobody's there, and then he comes back inside because we're
At
padding
least
this
he-
fucking movie out.
At least he looked. He didn't just like gaslight her like everybody does in these movies. Like, nah, you
Well.
didn't see nothing. Have some drinks.
Do things like you did when you were a teenager and your parents told you to go do something. You just made like the stomping noises outside the door, and you just do some knocking or something to make them be like, "Oh, he must have did it."
Oh yeah, you go full cable guy, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So we get our kind of first ghostly experience because Leslie's looking at a magazine, and then she puts it down, and the magazine closes on its own. Ooh.
It's a dated
I thought it was just the
magazine,
wind.
mind you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It could have been. It's drafty.
It's a drafty
So-
old hotel, the Bodega Bay Inn, yeah.
So Spud goes to look for a blanket for Carol, and as he is going in one direction, a woman just materializes out of nowhere to bring her a blanket.
The very
And then-
benign Nanny McPhee. She's always helping people out, you
Mhm.
know? She's the only
Oh.
non-monster in this film, question mark, ghost, maybe.
She's
does-
the helpful spirit.
She
She's like
does say
Cassie.
something
Yeah.
creepy to Carol though, where she's like, "Oh, don't worry, your friends are going to be taken care of." I'm like, "Ooh, that could
What does
either be
that
good or bad. I don't know what that means." So we get see, I as somebody who has a shitty ass memory, all these character names are all just blending in my head. It's like a
I'm
fucking
Don't even ask
salad
me,
mixer. I'm
'cause
just
I
like,
don't know.
"Ugh."
I'm
So Janet,
surprised we
I think, is
remember-
taking a bath.
Yeah, it's Janet and
Yeah,
Rick. But I want to call them Janet and Marty
it's
because that's
It's
in the episode of SpongeBob where Patrick's parents come to visit is Janet and Marty, but it's not really his parents, but he thinks it's his
Oh, yeah.
parents the whole fucking
Yeah,
episode.
so it's like so it's like Stuart. So it's
I'm
like
still
Stuart
stuck on
Little.
Brad and Janet.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
son. When it comes to brightness, you're about a 3 watt. Fucking love that movie. Anyway, SpongeBob
You
references.
can't have an episode without some
I-
SpongeBob references.
Can't, dude.
It's a good episode, man.
There
Mhm.
was a shot in this where the shower head like takes a dive into the tub, and I thought there was gonna be some weird sexual
Oh,
thing to
Oh,
go on
going
with
up
that.
the old
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
something or other.
And then nothing
Yeah.
happens. Rick just shows up, and that's about it.
Maybe it
Alright.
wasn't a ghost. Maybe the fucking shower head just fell off the side of the tub.
Yeah, they
That
just,
was
got,
it.
they just got the shot, and they're like, "Okay, fuck it, just ignore it." Fine.
What's this?
Ooh.
Add music and make it look like we're making a Nightmare on Elm Street reference.
Seriously.
So Spud goes into like the dance hall, and
Looking for
there's
a
cou-
towel.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
gets
two guys.
Jason Voorhees comes out and hits him with a fucking guitar in the head.
Oh yeah. Boom. Please. Actually, he's never killed anybody with a guitar. He should do that.
Yeah, no,
I
he's
mean,
at
you
part
still
8.
have time.
No, in part 8 he
Wasn't it
kills
a-
somebody
Oh,
with a guitar.
yeah. Yeah, I forget they don't show
There's a
That-
girl
well,
who's
that's all-
rocking in the
that's- sorry.
boiler room, like, hey.
That's
Oh,
what I
yeah,
was
that's
referencing
right.
because he like chases her into like this place that looks like this 50s like scene that we get here,
Mhm.
and he rocks her upside the dome with a guitar. Yeah,
Can't believe I forgot that. I just always think of like an acoustic, but I forgot she's got that electric guitar because that one
Yeah,
dude's
it's
normally
like-
filming with her, but he's not there. Yeah.
So yeah, he sees a couple guys performing, and this is Chaz Kronk and Tony Fernandez, who are part of that Cry No More band who did the music for the movie.
Oh, got him in there, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
And
said Cry No More, and I swear I thought you said Primal Roar. It's like, sweet, that's a metal ass name.
you got Cry No More, Faith No More, Primal Roar. What are we doing?
These are the new wave cats.
So they just disappear, and his reaction to him to seeing these two guys on the stage and then them just disappearing, he just goes, "Oh," and he just turns around and just walks out. Like,
It's normal.
what is going on
There's
here?
fucking ghosts. We're in the Hotel California. What the fuck? Like, get out of here.
Yeah. Maybe some
reaction.
British people just
Holy
fade into
shit.
the ether every once in a while. Maybe that's normal for them. I don't understand.
Oh man.
That's
So-
right, isn't it? Yeah.
So we're back with Janet and Rick, and they're dressing up in other people's clothes, as Joe was talking about.
It's very
Oh
disturbing.
Lord! And you hit sad.
Turns them on.
Nobody
There's a whole sexcapade.
Yep, you get crying ghost in the mirror who's sad because she couldn't have sex on the
She ain't getting
bed.
no hot Dickens.
No, she's just.
Oh,
watching
dude, yeah,
it
Moaning
happen.
Moaning
Yeah.
Myrtle's finger banging herself while she's
Yes,
watching
dude.
them crying.
Dude, okay. This dude being a porn director, right?
Oh, Mr. Potter, I'm here.
That's what she was using that shower head for.
You know she was, man.
Absolutely. So with this,
She's
dude
in
being
the,
a
she's
porn
in those
director-
tubs, as we know.
Yes. What I always forget, Parker, you reminded me not long ago. The fucking Friday the 13th director that was a porn director. What movie was that?
Oh, that was part. That was
Three?
part 5. Part 5.
Five?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So like this dude doesn't do nothing. Like he's a
No.
softcore porn director. We got no
I was waiting
titty.
for
like-
nothing.
We barely get a butt cheek. We get an underwear shot.
Get legs.
You do get legs. Like why is she crying
Yeah.
about that? Ain't nobody getting dicked in this place.
Well, maybe they do.
No,
Maybe
on
it's just
screen
one
anyway.
angle. Oh, that's true.
I mean, there could have been sex in this movie if Tom was such a bitch. Because
That's true.
Leslie is like
Oh.
all about it. She's like, what would you?
She's
what would
throwing
you
it
think
all
it'd be
over
like if having sex on a pool table? And he's like, oh,
No,
Leslie, don't talk about
He
that.
says
Yeah.
she says what it would be like to do it on a snooker table, and he's like,
Yep.
"Do what?" And I'm like,
Come on,
"You
Tom.
that oblivious."
Wake up, Tom.
Like,
You have a schnocker on a snooker table.
Yeah.
Her
Was it-
accent identical to that. Like her is so.
Oh, yeah, she's the
Mind
Cockney
you,
Queen. Yeah.
I gotta ask people if anybody actually who watches this episode and comments on it. If you ever watch British porn, does that accent bother you? Is it just me?
How
Watch
much are they
British porn.
talking, my man?
No, seriously. I'm dead serious. Like, have you ever pulled up British porn and they refer to jizz as spunk, and it just saps the experience from me? I'm like, what the fuck's going
Yeah,
on?
right, spunk right low. Right here, mate.
Exactly.
What is it? UK fake cab?
Fake, yes,
Fake
cab,
taxi?
fake taxi. That's the one, dude. That's the one that comes up. My wife.
I'm
looks
okay
at
with
me.
it.
Say he gets it. Joe gets it.
Oh God
I don't need to be having this
Oh.
conversation between you and him.
It's just bro talk. We're just
I-
talking about
I think it's-
spunk, love.
Do I have?
I think it's funny because it's
No,
so
I don't.
casual. You know?
Get it?
Yeah, right.
It's an
Pull off
everyday
right
thing
here.
for This one.
You're gonna
My-
get it in
my-
there,
I
mate.
give
Yeah.
Hey,
It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah.
Can I give you a proper plowing?
Proper plow.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys
Oh,
continue
no.
this conversation. I need to go pee.
This is
I
why I
just-
don't get allowed on people's
I
shows.
just want to.
I-
I just
I
I'm
gotta
wanna-
take
sorry.
it.
Time out.
I'm
Time
sorry. I
out.
know. I'm
You-
a crude son of a bitch. I
Oh,
apologize.
I'm just.
I'm
This
always
is-
like
this is-
always.
This totally doesn't bother me. It's just a thing we do with each other. It's
Oh no, I can feel the searing judgment. Believe me, this is normal.
it's not judgment.
I just want to create a formal apology to all of our UK listeners because we actually do have quite a few.
This is great.
Oh my god! Well, I love the UK and I love
It's so
British
good.
people.
So this was the first shot we get of like the reverse footage because we get the pool balls forming back up, and like who
Yeah,
plays
very
pool?
cool
Like,
stuff.
what is this-
I'm
what
a
is-
sucker for that stuff.
It's really
looks
cool, and we get a couple more. We get it a couple more times throughout the film, but Who plays pool with one colored ball? What
It's
is
not
this
pool.
nonsense?
It's not.
What is it
It's a
then?
variant of pool.
What is it?
It's
Somebody
snooker or
explain to me.
whatever.
It's
Oh, is that
snooker.
what? I thought that was just
not-
I thought that was just a British word for pool.
Oh no, it's like a game itself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's like when the Canadians stole our football. It's fine. Just kidding. I don't know.
They borrowed it. It's fine.
Dude. Never mind.
So snooker is played with 15 pink numberless balls, 6 numbered object balls, and 1 cue ball.
Okay.
all right, cool.
It might be fun. I don't know. I'm up for a game of pool. Or a
I only
variant of
remember
pool.
ever
No,
seeing
snooker.
one snooker table in my life, and it was on Saved by the Bell. And they have like
Saved by the
I don't remember. I don't know if it was like a dream sequence or something that was happening, but it was like the balls were in the middle, and there was like 3 white, like,
cue balls.
Cue balls?
no,
Oh, like stoppers, like
Yeah,
like bouncers or something like that.
like it would bounce off of
Oh,
them on
yeah,
each
yeah.
side. So that, but they never referred to it as that. I'm like, what the hell kind of pool table is that?
You know what? Now that you mention it, like I've totally seen a table like that looks like a pool table with those white bumpers on it, but I didn't know it was
Yeah.
snooker.
I had no idea.
In all fairness, I better say snooker may have come first, and in fairness, was just reverse that. So maybe snooker was before. And pool
I
was
don't
a
know. It
variant
said
of
something
snooker.
about 1957 or something like. Oh
I
no,
cover my
sorry.
bases.
First played 1875 in India. I got my numbers backwards.
I'm ignorant,
Oh,
but I'm
there you go. Yeah,
respectful.
that makes
Okay.
sense. British occupied India and then took their snooker. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Colonialism,
Their
baby.
prized
No,
That
I'm
was
just
the white
letting
man's
you guys go. I'm
contribution to
just here.
society, colonialism.
As you're drinking your twisted tea, I'm sorry.
Fuck. This is helping.
So weird shit's happening. They got to get out of there. Leslie's still horny as hell. She's trying to get some on a dirty mattress in the basement. As
Talk about
Tom
she
is
never
trying.
is.
wet when she never stopped being wet when she hit that water.
She didn't know that mattress was there. She's just like,
She just
down
pushes
there.
him
Throw
over.
them right on it. That's some
Dude.
My Bloody Valentine shit. When they
Dude,
turn
these
on the breaker, like this big box of fireworks goes off.
So here's
Well, that was her fault.
yeah. Doesn't she? Because
There's no fire there though. It was a ghost or whatever.
No, she takes.
She
Remember,
lit
she
a
takes the match.
lights
and
the
lights it
match.
and
Oh,
throws
yeah,
it.
and she
throws
kind of
it
just
away, yeah.
she throws it aggressively, like she's pissed off at Tom because she's
Yeah.
not getting any, and so that's
Yeah.
why I
Yeah.
think it started. And where I think most people watch it, like I think we probably watched it, were like, why did that just happen? But yeah, it could have been a ghost, but I think it was literally her match flew back there and landed.
Also
in the box.
fucking pointless. There's no reason whatsoever
really?
Nope.
I think
for
it's
it to happen.
I think it's her analog for being like
A firecracker?
that
Pent up sexual tension. Yeah.
Is what's that for a lady? It's not blue, but it's like blue ovaries. Is that that's not blue ball?
No idea.
Perfect.
No idea.
That's an acceptable answer, Joe.
Please to the
I'm not even gonna go
please to
there.
the very few women
I
who
mean,
probably
we
listen
could-
to this show, let us know.
There's no women that listen to the show. Just kidding.
So
Here.
so the fireworks bring
You
everybody
don't
back
listen to
together.
the show.
We get a ghost vacuum that just topples down the stairs.
Yo, I love the ghost vacuum so much.
So
That's
good.
awesome.
It's fucking gnarly. It comes out and it's just like so pissed off coming down the hallway. When it falls down the stairs and it like nearly knocks everybody down it.
So
Pretty
I
great.
need,
We get-
angry eyebrows on it.
Oh,
over the
yeah.
cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need the vacuum from like Brave Little Toaster.
I was
Yes.
just gonna say, just like Brave Little Toaster, yeah.
So you get the little Santa toy that's on the desk that starts going off as well. You also hear they go into a room and they're all trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And there's a news report going on in the background that took place in like 1959. And they're talking about this aircraft, this experimental aircraft that is supposed to, it's like an anti-radar plane.
Yeah. It's like, and it camouflages things and it bends light like the fucking Predator. And like, this
Yeah.
is like your lore dump for the movie
Yeah.
and how you're supposed to accept all these things happening on this island.
Does this
Yeah,
remind
because
you of
no one pays attention to it, so no one actually picks up that's what's happening.
No.
Yeah,
It's
no.
for the viewer, just for the be like,
Right.
oh, okay, experimental,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Does
even
this remind
though.
you-
Oh, go ahead.
I would say, does it remind you of the scene in the original Night of the Living Dead where they talk about the satellite?
Kind of,
This
yeah.
is kind of what this feels like.
There's always.
But they're very
feel like there's
attentive
a
to
lot of
that,
these.
and they're like, "Yes, this thing makes ghouls, and people are dying." And this one's
Yeah.
just like, "I don't know what the fuck it is. It's dangerous? Question mark. It could hurt people. I don't know."
Yeah, guys
Super
are like
mirrors.
arguing.
I don't know.
Yeah, people are just like arguing with each other on the TV and all that. And no one's paying attention. But everybody gets dressed in some awesome new 50s attire. They go to the bar.
Mhm.
And this is when Carol's the one who like mentions like, oh, it's like we're in a time warp or something. And I was like, oh, okay, Carol, why would you say that?
I said that a few
Is
times.
it because
I was like,
they find all this all the clothing? I don't
I'm
know.
assuming
I
that
guess
this
so, yeah.
hotel is like a time loop. Like they're stuck somewhere.
Well, yeah. Well, it's those
Yeah.
people from the.
But not
party.
just the ghosts
Riff
stuck
raps there,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you. That's all you.
I mean, I've already said "damn it, Janet" like how
Yeah,
many times?
I know.
And I said you all you thought was of Janet and whatever from SpongeBob.
Marty.
All I can think of is Brad and Janet from
Okay.
Rocky Horror.
I just don't want to
Sorry.
go to a hotel where I get seduced by Tim Curry. I'm sorry. He's a
They're
handsome
already in
man.
a
He's gonna
hotel.
win.
Want it.
Every time.
He will. He will overpower
No.
me.
I'll tell you what, sign me up. I'll take that challenge. I'll take that excursion for sure.
I mean, as long as I get to sing with Meatloaf, I'm
O-
fine.
Only if he
Yeah.
sings. Only if he sings "Toxic Love" to me while it's happening from Ferngully.
As long as there's an extra cheese pizza
There you go.
compliments of the Plaza Hotel.
Or stop
Yes.
eating my sesame cake. Fucking love that.
The
Anytime
lost
to mention
city of
Congo.
Zinj.
Uh,
I saw Dusty
Oh,
was
Lord.
watching Congo before. I was like, uh-oh, here it comes.
Oh, who was?
Dustin from
Dusty.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's what I commented on. I was like,
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
eating my sesame cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
So they go to the theater. There's no one there, and they get really upset about it. They're like, oh, "Why are they showing a movie to nobody?" And I'm like, "Why are you getting so upset about this?" So
You already broke into a hotel.
they go
I
in
know,
there,
right?
and what was the movie? Is it a Fiend Without a Face? Is that what it is?
Fiend without a face, yeah.
We need to
Really
add
cool
this
looking
to our
movie.
wheel. We need to
Yeah,
add this
yeah.
to our wheel.
I can
Really
do it
cool
right now.
effects.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's all stop
hell
motion
yeah.
and stuff. It's great.
Oh, so
Mhm.
cool.
Mhm.
And they get really pissed off when it ends because they're like, oh, is there supposed to be another one, right? Like, why are we getting so angry right now? Like, we're just getting so worked up. They go, so I think Rick is the one who's upstairs messing with the
Blade.
projector.
Yeah.
And you could see like weird stuff starting to happen. Like you see film starting to wrap itself around his legs. Another projector shows some film that must have taken place at the hotel. And you have Spud up there, like, you know, he's like, oh, you know, I could
She
do
likes
that. you know.
me.
Yeah, oh yeah, she likes me. And
I don't know what the fuck he's doing here, dude.
no, I don't either. But then he gets choked out by somebody in the film. Like the dude just comes out of the screen.
This is so fucking cool because he's like this Saudi Arabian guy, and he like
Yeah.
comes out of the lens of the camera, and it's like the way they do this effect with like it looks like cloth getting pulled out of it, and then he just jumps out and like grabs him, and then he gets like
Yeah.
sucked back in. It's so cool.
Yeah, he chokes him out and then he scratches him in the face, and then he like
Yeah.
looks up at the other characters, and then he just sucks back into the projector.
Yeah.
It's
And then
really
what-
neat.
And Rick gets tripped by the celluloid. He's like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
which is
no.
cool. I do like the effect of him getting pulled into the camera. And I
It's
don't
so cool.
I don't know, like this takes me back. I used to work at a movie theater. So I've had time with celluloid. And like
You got sucked
that
into a
shit's-
camera once?
No.
Oh.
I got stories about that at some point, not today.
Wait,
But-
you weren't Last Action Heroed?
No, unfortunately not.
You had that
people
golden
swear-
ticket.
I know. People kept swearing our theater was haunted. I was like, you guys are full of shit. Anyway,
I mean, we
You were
have a
actually
ghost
talking to the
in
ghost the
Florida.
whole time. No one actually worked
Dude.
with you.
that's what people tell me. Like, dude, the ghost
It was The
is named
Shining, dude.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
See,
People
we
used
have
to tell me.
we have cinnamon in our that I heard that before you even started at the movie theater.
Okay, so like when I worked there, apparently the ghost was named Cinnamon. I never saw this. I was the general manager. Like I've been there when fucking Fast and the Furious got shit all over the floor. I was
Mhm.
there when the shit happened. But anyway, the point is the celluloid is stronger than you would think.
Mhm.
That's some
Yeah,
Brazilian ass shit. So I think it's strong enough to fucking pull that dude over.
You've come
Oh,
home with
100%.
I've got
cuts on your hand.
well that too, and I've also got reels that I acquired from the I have
We
like
told you
I've
could
got the
have 'em.
header off of Pacific Rim, reel 8
Nice.
frames. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
But yeah, Spud's dead.
Poor Spud.
R.I.P.
Scratch. Oh, minor
Yeah.
blemish. I think they were going for something with that, like it stole his soul or some shit like, or like was I don't know, maybe. But I was really confused.
Yeah.
There's
this
there's a lot of like Evil Dead shit going on in a second, and it's
Yes.
like, all right, well, is it a time loop? It's like a time loop, a demonic possession, and also a haunted house
Mm-hmm.
and a time slip. It's weird. It's all of
Yeah.
those things at once.
Checking it all off.
Yeah.
The only person who's distraught is Janet. She runs out of the place screaming, and Rick goes after her and like so she's like, "It's gonna be okay." And I would have been like, "Our friend just died, and no one gives a shit here. No one is reacting to the fact that our friend is dead in the movie theater
Fuck
inside this
Spud.
hotel." Yeah, fuck that guy.
Janet just has all the emotions for everybody else that doesn't have the
Yeah.
emotions. That's what she's.
I feel like Carol's the only one who like doesn't need to react that much because she's like, I didn't even know the fucking guy. Like I just tagged along on this crazy excursion.
She says it multiple times. I don't even know why I'm here. Who
I
are
just
you?
wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
So
Isn't this
they all
crazy?
split up
I'm
again.
here with all you Brits.
So Tom and Leslie, they go find a house that's over on like the coast, and she gets attacked by a killer net. Like this net is literally like there's like fish hooks going into her skin, and like
That was cool.
was a gnarly
Yeah.
I like the
net.
net part.
and Tom is not trying
I like
very
the
hard to
rope.
get it off of her.
Yes. I thought we were getting some tree shit from the Evil Dead.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I thought-
It's going
I
somewhere.
thought it was a snake.
Hmm.
And
It's
then
snake
rope.
anything
Yeah.
can be a snake if you're brave enough.
Tom is not trying hard though to get this net off. He is telling her not to move, and I was like, it's harder than you think to just not move when you're being stabbed.
Yeah.
By
Because he
fish
doesn't know
hooks.
what's going on other than the net.
Right. So he finally gets it off her by using a hatchet, which is terrifying. The fact that he was like within like a couple inches of her face with a hatchet. Don't worry, just don't move.
I thought he was gonna like saw it, like cut the net, but he's like, no, don't move, and he like brings it down and like cuts it like right next to her. I'm like, what the fuck?
She's like,
Yeah,
why are you
it
going
seemed
so
like-
far back?
It seemed
Marv,
the-
what are you
the most
doing, Marv?
reasonable way of
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
So she gets out of it. She's okay. Or at least she says she's okay. And then she
This is
she goes
where-
over to a table, and a fucking seaweed monster comes out. of it.
Yes.
It's just
It's like Sigmund and the Sea Monster, dude.
Isn't it when he?
This
we-
fucking thing is so
we have
cool,
more
man. I
chemical
love this part.
monsters.
Yeah, it's cool.
But isn't it when
yeah.
he cuts it? It starts. Sounds like a lady,
When he's
he's stabbing it.
He's
with
like
a
stabbing
Yeah,
it
when
with like a
he's stabbing
spear.
it.
harpoon.
and it's
Yeah.
like singing or whatever, or like moaning.
It's
Somebody's
screaming, and then
gotta
it
get
like sucks back into the
poked.
table again.
Yeah,
He's
it
like, if it
becomes
bleeds, we can
tablecloth
kill it.
again.
But this is where
I thought it was cool.
Tom, like he's like the monster disappears and back to the table, and then Tom like leans back and screams, and then it cuts, and that's
I thought
where
he just
I
stubbed
wasn't
his toe.
looking, and I was like, all I remember was writing my note, looking up, and I saw Tom screams, and I went, why? Why did he scream?
The
See,
Kandarian demons got him, dude.
That's what I see. We were watching.
I was trying to.
You were
do
streaming
my
it though.
crafting.
Yeah, she was streaming it
Yeah.
while we were
I was
watching it,
not
and
like
like
this big.
I couldn't have her rewind it because we had it going. So I was like, "What the fuck happened?" I was like, "Whatever, we'll figure it.
We'll figure it
It's
out.
fine."
Don't worry. The
If
mystery
Somebody
is
will know.
the mystery is what makes it worth it. We're with Rick and Janet. They're like wandering through the woods on the island, and they hear what sounds like a party going on, and they keep going, and they just all they're hearing is laughing. They're seeing like trees shaking everywhere with this
Which is
crazy
cool.
laughter. Then we get the
It's
same
simple,
shot.
but I think it's pretty effective.
Yeah. Then we get the same shot 3 times in a row where it's like an Evil Dead, Deadite view, and it like goes in between them, and it's the same shot 3 times.
Yeah.
Did you
And
think this
then-
movie was when like the bushes were laughing at them, like outside of like them being haunted by a laugh track? Did you think this was the happening? Like, oh fuck, where's Mark Wahlberg? Like the tree.
I was just
Hey,
trying to figure out
hey,
who was
Hey,
laughing.
Mr. Leaf. Hey, Mr. Leaf, don't kill me, Mr. Leaf. Like, fuck that movie, man. Fuck that
Shit,
movie.
bro. Don't kill me now.
That fucking movie.
I'll make you a fucking Wahlburger. What do you say?
He's like, I'm a science teacher in this movie, but I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to
What do you
say
think? I'm
something.
fucking Goodwill Hunting or something?
Fuck that movie.
Why can't we see
You-
them, Rick?
They go down to the beach and they see the footprints going through the sand, and I just love
Which
that
isn't
there's
as good as I thought it should have been.
they just keep showing the
Yeah.
same thing. It's just like,
But it's like somebody got lazy and was just like, I don't know, footprints all over the place. Like it's not even like Clash of the Titans or anything. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah. It
And-
could have been done more effectively.
they're just
Somebody
so
was fucking
nonchalant
dancing in the
about
sand.
everything. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
funny. They
Why
literally
can't
run down
we
the
see
beach.
them? And he's just like,
And it's like,
I don't know.
he literally shrugs his shoulders. He's like, meh.
Magic?
So they
yeah.
I'm
they
surprised the villains weren't Nazis. It did have something to do with Nazi magic in this. It sounds like-
It
I
could
was
have. We don't
expecting-
get the full story.
right.
No.
Who is this pilot? Who did he fly for? But yeah, you see him kind of
Yeah.
peeking around trees throughout the movie. Then you go to the plane crash that they see from a
This fucking
distance.
scene.
Well, it's the whole thing where they hear a plane in the sky and then they start hearing it starting to come down, but they don't see it. You just hear it, and then you see a massive explosion.
Just like this
We're back
fucking
with-
guy's head in a second.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's so
Well,
good.
It's so good. But we're back with Carol, and she sees the maid come out, and she's like, gonna go follow her. And she goes to a house, and she just goes in, and then weird shit starts happening. She opens up door number 1, and there's a fucking blizzard in there. She's getting freaking hit by snow, and I guarantee I just want to be the guy who's in control of the fan, just following her around, just getting real close, like, come on, because she is getting hit, man.
Really get her. Cover her.
They got one of those fans from bigassfans.com.
Oh.
Yes.
Did you
Like,
hear?
throw the shit in.
If you watched it with subtitles, one of the sounds was cat yowling.
Where
What's
was-
a yowl?
I guess they interpreted her scream as a cat yowling.
Is that just a cat screaming? Is that what a yowling is?
You know, like I don't know
Okay.
if that was terrible, but like a cat does that
We'll
weird
go ask our
fucking
cats when we're
sound.
done.
Sorry, it's a word
We have three.
I don't know if I've ever
can go
seen
ask
before, so I was very confused. I was like, what is a
Really?
yowl? Nope, never heard. I've never
I'm
heard that
sure
word. No.
Scamp would come in here and demonstrate.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Joe, you have a cat, don't you?
I did have a cat. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
He passed away. No, it's okay. No, he
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
he would make all kinds of fucking crazy noises. So yeah. And
Like
also,
howling
like, I don't
shit.
know if anybody follows cats on like Instagram or anything, I'm sure you've heard all kinds of crazy shit that comes out of the cats.
We have an orange cat, and
Oh my
he
God.
likes attacking socks. And if you look at him, he'll stop. But if he's downstairs and nobody's downstairs, he does that
Howling meow.
howling
As
meow.
loud as
Yeah.
he fucking can. But
But
once
dominate his
you-
prey.
Once you see him, he's done.
Nope.
He's
Yeah,
like, "Ooh,
he
I
just
got
wants the
caught."
attention.
Yeah, but then, yeah, like
Speaking of which, real
Right.
quick, have you guys ever seen like the pugs when they scream?
Yes.
oh
So
yeah,
funny.
When the pugs like get that one pug's like getting his nail cut and he screams.
yes.
That is exactly how the woman with the crystal ball in the beginning sounds when
Yes.
she screams.
Yes, she is a pug.
Like, I was trying to pinpoint it and it all came
That-
back.
Oh, that's great.
Funny as hell.
I have children.
Oh,
They
yeah.
yowl.
That's true. They do.
I
I
mean-
yowl.
There
When
you
they
go.
don't
You're
get
gonna
what
be
they-
using that
Uh-huh.
shit now in regular
Yeah.
conversation.
When they don't get their way.
Did you
they
hear
just
that
start-
man yowling down the street? Yeah.
That's what,
I do that. We're
that's
in
what
the
children
South,
do when
dude.
they don't get their way. You're like, can I have a snack?
Like-
No.
If you
I
listen
have to tell you
if you listen really quietly at night, because we live in the Appalachians, you can actually hear the hill folk.
Oh, so do I.
yowl.
That is not the hill folk. Stop it.
Sorry, the trailer park. I'm
No,
sorry.
you
It's
can hear
Harry from
antlers.
Harry and the Hendersons, man. He's out there,
Hear
Bigfoot.
Panthers.
Well, we're in moonshine.
If you
territory,
ever
so
hear, if you're ever in the woods and you hear a woman scream, it's not a woman.
it's fox.
We
It's
have foxes.
Fox?
We have panthers.
Yeah,
We
fox
have-
that scream like women. Yeah,
or
Yeah.
a fox.
It's creepy.
hogs.
It
Or
could be
deers
both
do
of them.
that
We
too.
have wild boar
Yeah.
around
Yeah, we have
here.
wild
Yeah.
boar.
Sounds
That's why we
crazy.
need AR-15s to kill 80 of them at one time.
Oh man, do you hunt?
I don't. I love
Oh.
shooting. I just hunt paper. Like that's.
Oh, okay.
I
was gonna
don't
say, I'd
proper-
love to come down and go boar hunting. That'd be amazing.
Dude, I would.
There's plenty of people around here that do that. We have groups that go to Georgia just to boar hunt because they're so prevalent in Georgia.
I have the
Yeah.
equipment to do it, but I'm like, I'm really soft-hearted about stuff like that. I feel bad. Like I know they're not supposed to be here. And like if
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot them,
Yeah.
I need to have somebody take care of it. But I'm not a
Process it, yeah.
like processing kind of guy. Like I don't.
If
Like I
you
can
No,
find
deal
I
with it,
don't.
but
I
don't.
don't. Yeah. Yeah.
If
I
you
wanna-
find the group, they will do it for you.
I want to go down to
I'm
the
sure
ever.
there will
I want to be a Burmese python guy who just goes down to the
Wrangler?
Everglades and removes them. Yeah, because they're an invasive species.
Start putting them in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like, these are babies. I can keep these.
Yeah.
Then I'll have my own
Take
baby
that fucking
birds.
snake out of the Everglades.
Yes. I want to go to the floor.
Yeah,
so
Snake
fucking
over
bad.
there, fucking see him,
Yeah,
baby
baby.
bird.
That has to be the first thing you say when you hit. The
Oh,
floor.
that would 100% be what I do.
Well, you
I
won't
would-
even let me bring the palmetto bugs back.
Oh, fuck them
Fucking
palmetto
you.
bugs.
No,
Cockroaches are
don't bring those fucking things, man.
Like, bam!
I was
They're the
washing my
worst.
hands in the bathroom when we went to Florida, our first trip to Florida, and one came out from behind the towel that I dried my hands off on,
It's
and
like, hello, citizen.
I about peed myself all over again, just trying to get out of the bathroom.
Listen, the best way to conquer that
No.
fear is just think of them as the giant cockroaches from Godzilla vs.
I
Skyman.
don't like
when
cockroaches
they're flipped
either.
over and covered on debris and on fire. Kabuta! Help me!
I don't care.
No, I just want.
They're the shit out of me.
I'll just never forget the caterpillar things from Rodan.
Oh, the giant.
Oh,
rotomoles?
that's Meganula.
yeah, Meganula. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him they're actually.
Well, what- yeah,
Megaguirus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megaguirus. Yeah.
I will never forget.
large
I'll never
human
forget the
that-
scene where the guy's on his knee trying to like pointing at the back of this house, and then one comes in. He's just like, oh,
Dude,
just
and then
That scene's scary as hell. It's creepy,
It
man.
is. I
Yeah.
want them. I want Rodan remade, and I want it just to be like the beginning of the movie. Like it's a fucking
It's
horror
so
movie,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there needs to be one with the pimp cane, like in the beginning, of the movie,
yeah.
where he's got the dude's like pickaxe, and he's just like, "I'm gonna fucking get you,
Yeah.
bitch."
hey, if you haven't listened to our Rodan episode, go check it out.
You should,
There you
please.
go. I fully endorse this product.
There you go. Thank you.
So yeah, you find out this was all like a dream, but then you see the little doll that's inside the snow globe that has like the same dress she's got on.
It's fucking bizarre,
I swear
dude.
this is supposed to mean something.
But it doesn't though. Like it doesn't. I don't know. This is another scene where it's like, okay, cool, all right, that's it. Move on.
A lot of cool ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Cool ideas. The movie. Yeah.
they go to the house that Leslie and Tom went to, and because Leslie like runs into them, they're like, "Oh, you got to come help Tom," and they go. Tom's not there. Rick goes and opens the door, and it's over a cliff. Mark Powley, who plays Rick, literally did this stunt on his own with no harness over this cliff, like
Nice.
holding on to this door.
The cojones of this man.
God damn, man, it's not worth it.
No. Whatever they were paying you.
Not for this direct-to-video.
A shilling, half a shilling or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Come on, lad, you can do it. You got big plums, don't you?
We'll buy you a round down at the local pub.
Boy, a pint, mate. There you go.
So the ride operator from earlier in the movie just shows up.
Hello, I'm still in this movie.
Completely
Slam.
stone faced, just like, all right, I'm gonna punch you with this fucking thing.
Oh my
None of them
god!
talk.
No, none of them say
I
any words.
pointed that out.
You
I was like,
did.
No,
have
he
they
has one expression the
said
whole time,
anything?
but he punches through Leslie, and Leslie
Oh, man,
immediately
it's
turns
awesome.
into a deadite. She literally
She's like,
gets
she
the
turns into
makeup
Sammy
and
Kerr
everything.
for a second, dude. She's all fucking burnt up with the hair.
Yeah,
Play
she's
my
like,
music. Yeah.
except she's made of potatoes because that's why.
Yeah.
She
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah. and she picks him up and just tosses him out the side of the house, like through the
Hold
wall.
on a second.
Yes,
Dude,
please.
this fucking puppet goes through like it looks like a fucking Looney Tune cartoon, dude. Like when he throws him out, it like there's like a cutout of him when he gets pushed out the the door or the fucking wall, whatever it is.
Fucking great. Oh god,
It looks like the fucking Kool-Aid man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He just goes right out.
So Rick tries to fight her. It doesn't work, so he throws the
By
net
throwing
back on
nets at
her. He throws the net on her, and of course she's like, "The net, not the net, my mortal enemy."
I've been
And then
captured
throws
by
a
this
smoke
tiny
bomb
net.
in there.
Again,
Well, the
another
first one she takes, and she's just like, no.
yeah. But then this was another moment where I must have looked away for a second because I didn't see Rick throw the flare. Or
It's a smoke bomb,
the smoke bomb, smoke signal, whatever the fuck that thing was. I thought she was melting from the net like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West. Like, I thought she was like,
Oh, and she was giving off the
I
orange.
thought she was melting.
It kind of looks that way.
I mean,
or I could see how you could perceive it that way.
freaking orange smoke bomb.
Yeah,
Let it off at the front door.
I missed him throwing it, so I looked up and saw that there was smoke coming out of the house, and I just thought, oh, the net's killing her. Like it's her.
I
It's
just
literally her
wanna know-
one. It's her mortal
I
enemy.
want to know how he locked her in. I
think he just
Lead
put
is
like
her
the.
weakness.
Didn't he like have like put a board over the door or something like that?
no,
Just the shovel handle. He
It's a
likes
Oh,
to
shovel.
like
Yeah.
but it's not. She can open that. It's like this on the side of the door.
I'm sure she wouldn't. She could just use another door.
I mean,
She can't see.
there has to be another door somewhere.
So yeah, they're running through the woods, and Janet just falls into a hole to oblivion. Like she literally just
Damn it,
randomly
Janet.
on this path just falls into a hole.
Graboids.
it's not.
Get you every time, dude. It's one of those tiger
Oh.
traps, yeah.
That's right.
It's perfectly sized for her too,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because she can hold herself up.
they pull her out, and then they like hide under a cliff, and they're like, "We'll just stay here till someone finds us." And then
I like how
the cliff just starts falling. Like rocks are falling on top of them. They got to get out of there.
I like how when Janet falls in this hole, it's like it seems like less of a danger and more like a mild inconvenience. Like she's like, I can't pull myself up. If I do, I'll fall. They're like, all right, get the other arm.
Yeah,
And
I
then
guess.
this
All right,
guy-
I guess we'll pull her out.
Yeah, like
I can't do it. I have no upper body strength.
I can't do it. Got
if you learned how to fucking swim, you'd have it.
listen, she's had all this time to learn how to swim.
All they've done is have sex this whole time.
Nobody.
But have they
Well, I
had
mean,
sex? I don't even think they've actually had sex.
Yeah, they did. They did. It
Did
was
they?
off
Okay.
camera.
All right.
Yeah, when she's like,
They
"It's my
didn't have to show
slipper,"
this.
is my slipper, whatever. When you see her butt later or before,
Oh, right. He's like, did you get any of your goo on me?
I'll stick it in your bub next time.
Then I won't have to pull out.
That's right. Yeah.
I wonder why we don't have any women listeners.
You bubbly
So-
little
And I'm
bottom.
still here. I may not listen, but I'm still here.
Well, you have to listen.
I just have to listen.
This is
to
the only
them.
part she listens to.
I only one time's enough.
They lock themselves in the hotel, and
Oh god.
still no one is concerned about what is happening to all
Why
of
do
their
you go
friends.
back to the hotel? Why?
Like
You
they're
guys know something's up.
they're running all over the place to find like a safe place, but like no one is like concerned for the fact that like 3 of their friends have died.
Should we
It's
cue
fine.
Benny Hill music?
Hmm.
I feel like we should cue Benny Hill music at some point in this movie.
They,
Oh,
they
it
don't
would've been
move that fast.
It would have been
True. Just
perfect
speed
for
up.
that scene in the beginning of the movie.
Well,
Now it's currently playing in my head. Thank
I
you.
just think of the cows from fucking Beast from Hollow Mountain. I hate to bring that up again when they sped up the cow footage, just put
Yeah.
Benny Hill music to it. Damn.
Yakety sax, that song is called. By
Yeah,
the
what's
way,
it called?
Yakety sax.
Yakety sax.
Oh, okay. That just makes me think of Yakety Yak. Don't talk back. That song.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know who
We've
sings
been
that.
married way too long because that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, I
it the
grew up listening to that music unironically. That song. So my
good
dad
song.
listens. Yeah, 50s, 60s, 70s music. That's what I grew up with. So
Me too. I think
So
it's,
this is-
it's not the Four Tops. I'm going to sound like an idiot. Never mind.
could be. I don't know. I'm a Del Shannon guy, but
This is when we get possibly my favorite part of this movie, which is when the thugs show back up, and they're in the bar.
still here.
They're in the
They're in the bar. Excuse they this guy blows through the fucking wall with a machete. I thought he was a ghost.
And he gets knocked out by a bottle. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Then we get the other thug who he just jumps and rolls through the window on the second floor. Where did he come from?
He was on a ladder, dude. Like, what the fuck? How did he get up there?
I said he
He
barrel
double
rolled
jumped.
through them.
Somebody hit A twice.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
Then Sammy Kerr comes out of the fucking ceiling again and grabs him.
oh, this was awesome. Where
It's really
Zombie
cool.
Leslie comes out of this vent in the ceiling, grabs onto the thug, and starts slowly twisting his head. Which the effect was fantastic because all they did is every time she would twist his head to a certain point, they would cut, and then when they cut back, they would just put the clothes on the actor backwards, so they didn't actually have to do any effect. They just kept doing that. It's fucking gold. It was so.
She twists his head around like 3 times.
It's so
Super
slow
casual
too.
about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, his neck would have broke before then. but-
There's a blood effect at some point or something.
Yeah,
around
well, it was
his
the
neck
end
at some point.
shot. It was the end shot. There's
Yeah.
like this like
Yeah.
bunched up skin and blood. Yeah, I loved it though. I thought it was awesome. Rick gets a shotgun and shoots Zombie Leslie in the stomach, and then her stomach farts. It's like,
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
on, hold on. I got 2 issues with this scene. 2 huge. We were watching this. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like during this scene specifically, I'm like, "Okay." Couple issues. First off, this lady must have bloating issues beforehand because she just like should have had Beano or something. She just takes this blast and it just rips ass out the wrong part of the stomach completely. Secondly, there's no way in fucking hell a British person would know how to use a gun. Mind you, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's just on me. Anyway, so shotguns are that's 100% legal. You can get shotguns and stuff in the UK. But like it just doesn't make sense because he shoots her stomach and it's the weirdest effect. It's supposed to be like it seems like they're trying to like emulate multiple hits. That's not
I
how
don't know, or if
shotguns
it's
work.
just, or like there was supposed to be blood spurting out. I think it was, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't
I
doing
was
it.
concerned at how many shots he took.
2.
so the second shot
It
where
was
she
like
reacts to it, he doesn't even shoot her. Like you
Nothing
don't hear a
happened.
shot
No.
or anything. She
No.
just goes, "Ugh,"
It's
and then falls.
it's like the sound was like fucked up or like off because
Yeah.
he shoots and you hear it go off. Then she goes, ah, and then falls down.
You said,
Bury me with my money.
you said, did she just deflate? And I'm like, pretty much.
Like, oh god.
Yeah.
It was like a balloon.
And then
All
he
that funfair food.
chops off her arm with the butt of the gun. Like what?
Oh, dude, that arm comes off with the butt of the gun.
Wow.
Listen, I've shot quite a few guns in my day. My arm has done that before from just sheer recoil. It just falls off.
It grew back.
off.
Patch it
Yeah.
back. It's totally normal.
This is where the turkey gets her. The wooden turkey gets her
Yep.
arm.
Yes.
And
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
it's like- yeah, Carol hits it with the hatchet to make it let go.
Yeah.
It's cool. She like cuts its head off. It's got like green blood and shit. It's screaming.
I
And
want the
then it just
British dub
appears.
of thanks killing. Capital
Yeah.
capital tits, bitch.
Gobble gobble,
Listen, that was the
motherfucker.
best.
Yes.
That was the best part of the movie.
I want a shirt that says nice tits, bitch on it. My wife's
I
not
will
gonna have
make
it.
you one.
And I will wear it to Christmas with her family.
Shit, you will. Do you want us to get kicked out?
I
Just
just
talk about birds. Birds about a bird.
I love that after this though, Rick and Janet like sit together and like, Rick, if you turn, just please don't attack me. Pretty much like if he becomes a zombie,
I won't
she doesn't want him
attack you
to.
if I turn either.
Yeah.
By the way.
Proper agreement.
Oh, Janet.
He's
So
just
nice.
he's just excited to get left with 2 women.
So Tom shows back up. He's not looking so good. They bring him in.
Mm-mm.
Rick says that there's a boat out there. There's like, oh well, the thugs must have gotten here somehow, so we're gonna go find the boat they came in on.
Yeah.
So Rick and Carol go off to find the boat and leave Janet with Tom.
He's
We
alright.
then-
Issues.
They then go to. Okay, go ahead. What's your issues, Dan?
They're like, let's get the fuck out of here. Tom shows up. Oh, I'm slightly wounded. Well, we better stay here then.
You better
know
pat
I'm
him.
dragging his fucking ass to the boat. And I'm like, we're going. We gotta go.
Yeah,
Get out.
Come on.
You better
Tie
pat.
a rope around his ankles, pull him.
Yeah.
You better pat his
Like
forehead
Weekend at
real nice
Bernie's.
with that wash. There, boy.
I love
Let
when
me
you
wipe
dab
your
my
head with
head.
some
You know I
water.
love you the most. You're the best out of all of them. You're my favorite girl.
Well, I'm slipping into fucking Australian there.
He starts turning into fucking Smeagol and shit. Like, what's going on?
My precious. But yeah, they find the camp that the pilot must have been chilling at, and then they finally
Yeah.
see the pilot that then gets a fucking pull to the back of the head, and his head explodes.
It's
I mean,
wonderful.
why not?
It's like a smoke bomb that goes off. His fucking head just explodes into red dust.
That dummy head was fantastic.
I mean,
So
you have
good.
to have one random explosion.
That was a paper mache head if I've ever seen one.
Screw-
So good. That was one of my wife's. What the fuck was that? And then he just disappears. His body just withers away and becomes part of the island. I don't know. You find out Tom is just
Time
like
loop.
Leslie. He's a Deadite. I'm just gonna call him Deadites because that's pretty much what they are in this movie.
Yeah.
He
I
gets
mean,
the
they all
voice and
have to
everything.
go-
Yeah.
They all have to go to the Lost Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's the island of misfit toys.
Some of the effects are actually really good in this movie, though.
I'm gonna do it because it got. I'm fucking hell. You're gonna talk to King Moonrazer.
How about,
I made
how about
that
a water
comment.
pistol that shoots jelly?
That doesn't seem like a problem to me.
When did I make the Killer Clowns comment?
I don't.
Because I made that comment too. Shit.
Don't ask me. I'm just a Charlie.
Which
in the
one?
box. What the fuck do you want from me?
Nobody wants to play with a Charlie in the box.
What about a cowboy that rides an ostrich?
Strange.
Or the
I'm a
triangle
blade
wheel.
that doesn't fly, but I swim.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh,
my
Rudolph,
God.
you have a shiny red nose that could help me? Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Get out of here.
That's Santa.
Oh well, I gotta go. Fuck you.
Yeah. That Santa sucks.
I want
King
Movie
Moonrazer
Dumpster to
though.
cover Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, I would love that. It's one of my faves.
It's my favorite holiday movie ever.
Yeah,
It's so
So
good.
good. One of our favorites.
One of our favorite episodes, yeah,
yes.
for sure.
So this is when Tom is chasing Janet around the hotel. She gets into the elevator. You get the arm chop, which is actually
this
a cool
is really
effect.
cool.
Yeah. And then she gets
Get that
Freddy
full
Krueger
Freddy
into
Krueger
yeah.
thing going. Yeah.
But it doesn't look as good because you could see like the latex tear.
Yeah, the paint
Still-
like chipped. Somebody used acrylic instead of fucking latex paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I do like the effect though when Rick shows up and sees her like finish going into
Yeah.
the wall. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
that's
final
so-
effect. That
that-
was really good.
That's legitimately creepy. Where you see her like solidified in the wall, and then she
Mhm.
like, and then it turns like solid again. It's
And
very
then
cool.
Rick shows the first piece of emotion of pretty much any character in this movie other than
Yeah.
Janet when he sees his girlfriend get sucked into a wall and he's like, "No, Janet!" Smashing his.
Damn you to
No!
hell.
Janet.
Oh. So the final thug, the one who got knocked out in the bar, he comes back and he's slowly making his way to Rick and Carol. They go into the kitchen, which turns haunted, and just starts throwing shit around, and then fucking trips the thug into like, is this a dishwasher? What is this thing?
It's
All
a
I
big
know-
teapot.
All he
You're
knows he
British.
falls
I don't
into
know
it,
what
and then
the
you
fuck
see
you
the
want
blood,
from me.
the blood come out of the little spigot there. Thought that was really good.
It's
No, it was-
trouser press, mate.
So, this is also when we get another reverse footage shot where the kitchen is all destroyed, but then it fixes itself.
I was kind of hoping the thug's blood would have went back up to the spout and he would have just whoop shot out and he would have been totally fine.
Imagine if he was just on loop with that, right? Like he goes into the thing, gets chopped up, and then gets spit back out, and vice versa. He's like Mike TV and fucking Willy Wonka.
It's like the most excruciating pain, though. He feels it every time.
That's his hell.
Yeah,
like that's his hell, dude. Yeah, way to go, Ace. Now you fucking coffee.
This is where we get our, other than like the news report, this is where we get our exposition dump from the ghost lady who announces that Carol and Rick are the winners of this eternal dance.
Yeah, the twist contest. Yeah,
and she talks about how the plane crashed on the island back in 1959 on New Year's Eve, and it put the island in like this eternal like time warp. It stopped time. So pretty much
it's just a jump to the left.
Yep.
Yeah. And a step to
To
the
the
right.
right.
Yeah.
And so you're stuck on this island forever.
I mean, put your hands on
I
your
was
hip
gonna say something entirely different. Fuck.
and bring your knees in tight. I mean,
I was gonna make a Godzilla reference, but here we go.
Nope.
Just keep fucking going with your movie.
Oh no! Yeah, the
Pelvic-
Dora rats
no.
are there. Mm-hmm.
pelvic
Well,
thrust.
I was actually gonna say they were dancing, and whoever's the last person to continue dancing wins a boat. From Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. That guy's like, I want to enter the contest. It's already fucking going.
The red bamboo comes in, and takes.
Yes, spray the yellow liquid.
Yeah. Somebody throws a fucking scimitar at Godzilla and wakes him up via lightning. Yeah.
I have the power.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, this is a weird connection.
So then the end of this movie just turns in straight up Evil Dead. Like it's
Yeah.
100% just Evil Dead. Like you got hands coming through the floor. All the different people that we've seen throughout the movie. They're all like in like Deadite form, and
They start dancing.
Rick and
The
Carol
Dead-
hop
the Deadeye
on
disco. Yeah.
they hop on like some weird haunted mansion ride on the pool table.
It did feel like that. Like it's like,
but they also don't seem concerned that these things are like on top of them. They're just like,
oh, this is
No.
Just walk it
Oh.
off. It'll be
Oh,
this is
fine.
a nice ride. I thought this was going to happen, and they were going to wake up in the ride at the amusement park.
yeah.
I'm dead
To be
serious.
honest, that would have been a pretty cool end to it.
Oh, it was all in your head.
Fucking daddy punched him right in the mouth with that fucking with that
That
brass
chain.
knuckle thing.
And he's been
Yeah.
it's been a dream the whole time. Yeah.
I do love though what they you got the lady who gave the dump before, where she's like, join us, we're tired, we're so tired. She's like, I'm so sick of
Why?
this shit, I don't want to do this.
It's not very enticing.
Like 2023.
Join
We're
us so you could be tired with us.
Yeah.
I'm already tired, lady. Go
I
fuck
know.
yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Tired of being tired.
Don't
So
let
they-
you knew it was going to happen in 60 years. We're always tired.
So they finally run out of the hotel. They get down to the beach. They find the boat. Carol gets in the boat, but then Rick gets tricked again because he hears Carol or
It's the
he
oldest
hears
trick in the
Janet.
book.
Yeah, he hears
Yep.
Janet. I'm like, Rick, don't leave me, Rick. I'm like, if she really wanted to go with you, she would have walked to you, Rick. But instead, she's standing on the
You
rocks.
watched her get sucked into a fucking elevator.
I mean,
She's
really.
dead.
She's fine. Let's get her.
That's what true
Yeah.
love looks like.
This fucking movie just turns into Creep Show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
oh,
he
kinda.
gets sucked into this mud, and then fucking
Quicksand trap.
Pops comes back with a with an outboard and just and
It's like y'all
Oh,
seen
yeah, dude, he
Friday,
gives him- he
Friday
gives him
the
a full
6th,
mutilator.
13 pot 6. Australian?
Listen, if I saw you get sucked into an elevator and then you started calling my name, I'd been like, fuck you, bye.
You should.
you're not
It'd
real.
have to be a
Always
ruse.
do that.
Yeah.
I feel like they do that a lot in like zombie movies. Well, Evil Dead, because it's topical when we're talking about it. But like, Ash is smart enough to be like, no, you're not Linda. You sure aren't. Off
Yeah,
with her
no.
fucking head. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
he used
I don't
his
know.
brain.
Yeah.
Do you know how I'd tell if you were a zombie? Like, dear, do you want any tacos? And if you didn't respond, I'm like, nope, it's not her.
It's not wrong.
So yeah, then Carol.
I mean, I could say things about. Never mind. We'll just keep going.
Carol gets sucked into the boat, And
Somebody gets sucked.
then we're back at the hotel and the party's going on. You see all of our friends from before all in a conga line having a good time, and Carol's on
Jack Nicholson's
behind.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got the zoom out of the overlook.
Yeah.
And then
snow.
Carol's behind the glass, knocking on the glass like, "Hey guys!" And then it goes to freeze frame, and that's it.
I want to do this. I want to do the scene at the very end where it's them doing the conga line, but for some odd reason, I just want to edit song. I just want to edit the song Mambo No. 5 over it. Just see how that scene works. just see how it works.
Oh man!
Holy shit!
Yep. And then we get Recipe for Romance again during the credits, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, baby, let's go!"
Oh man, it's great.
It's such a great song. And then yeah, that's it. That is Bloody New Year from 1987. So now let's talk about what we thought about the movie, starting with our guest of honor, Joe.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this film was gifted to me by a buddy of mine in high school. And I was like, oh shit, because it was around Christmas time, so we had just watched stuff like Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas and stuff, and those are very different movies than this movie. But it was like, oh, it's a holiday horror film. Let's fire it up. The first time I watched this, I fucking hated this movie because it was just not my speed. Like, it was too slow. It takes so long to get to the wacky shit, and it's so few and far between. But watching it this time, like coming back to it, I really dig it. Like, I love a lot of the ideas in this movie, right? So it's not a particularly good film. I think his other films are better. Like, I like Inseminoid better and Alien Prey better. But man, there are some really cool, interesting things in this, and it's a damn shame that it was kind of beat up by the producers. They interfered too much, because I feel like this could have been way better than it was. But the fact of the matter is like, this was churned out for a quick buck, direct to video, for the UK market. But that being said, again, there are some really fun things in this, like when the pilot gets his fucking head explodes. When the chic guy gets sucked through the film reel or the film camera. There's just really neat stuff in this movie, and again, it's a shame that it's not as great as it could be, but it is a fun time. It's very dry, it's very British, but I think it's fine. I think this is a great New Year's Day movie. Like, you're hungover, right? And you know what I mean? And you're kicking it, you throw that on, and maybe you're asleep, maybe you're awake, and like your eyes open for the fucking wacky parts, and then you fall back asleep for the other parts. But yeah, I had a pretty good time. I had a good time with this one.
Angela,
you're the one I want to know what you think of this. This is,
for the parts that I didn't like, I loved the parts that I did like even more. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this. Practical effects were spot on. Yeah, I could nitpick at this all I wanted, but I can't say it was a bad movie. Yeah, there wasn't much of a plot in there. Like, I felt like it was like snippets of several movies all joined into one. But I would probably watch this again. I enjoyed it. Like, there's certain things that I want to go back and really do want to go back and watch it, because there's certain things in the beginning that I want to rewatch to see if they kind of like correlate together. Because I was like pointing stuff out during the movie. I'm like, well, what if this happened? That, because I kind of want to see the beginning of the movie again, just to be like, hey, was this person here? I can't remember names. That's the one thing I couldn't remember anybody's name, like except for Janet.
Characters.
Except for Janet, I can remember Janet because she screams forever. I'm like, shut. At one point, I was like, shut up.
Pink
Stop
dress.
screaming.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
She screams for like 5 minutes. Like, shut up. But no, like I have certain things that I want to like rewatch.
Because I remember when we watched it, she actually spoke like, "Oh, I actually enjoyed that," which is, I was actually
I
kind of
like
surprised.
practical effects.
No,
can't
I do
help it.
too. Like, I was just wasn't sure what you think of it. I honestly didn't enjoy the movie fully all that much, but there are things I liked about it. I don't know if I'd want to call this a straight horror movie. It almost felt like it had some thriller elements to it, like it tried to, in the suspense, like you were building up to like what's going on. And I feel there was a lot of good ideas of what they were trying to do. Like I liked even though I joked about the happening, like I kind of liked the grass thing that was that, and it was all these like different situations, even the snow thing, because like it felt like you watched this movie and you didn't know what to expect at any one given time. But I wasn't expecting her to walk into a room and get a fucking blizzard, and I wasn't expecting Spud to be go looking for a fucking blanket in the the performance hall and see these dudes just singing random music. And like I felt like it was a lot of ideas of like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and it could have used a little more cohesion. But for what it was, I mean, I respect the effort that was put into what was trying to be done, and apparently there were behind the scene issues like y'all mentioned, and I don't know what the budget for this movie was. I imagine
Not
it was
a
probably
lot.
very low. Yeah, and I respect what they did, like 100%, because it like even the violence like was inconsistent. Like the beginning, we had blood, and then like it seemed like it didn't really want to do anything for a while until she gets the shotgun to the stomach. Then you're like, oh, violence, and her arm gets like knocked off. Like, oh, more violence, and it's like it seemed really inconsistent in that, and it sounded like the director wanted to do more, but it was a budget thing again. But I respect what it was trying to do more so than other movies we've talked about. But it's probably not one I'd come back to much unless you wanted to watch it. If she turned it on, I'd probably sit there and watch it. But
I can watch it by myself.
that's about it. It's not for me.
It feels more like a
but
Twilight Zone, like a big Twilight Zone movie.
it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely could see that. It definitely feels like something from like an
Mhm.
anthology series. Yeah, this movie, I laughed a lot. I laughed out loud a lot. I love the reaction my wife had watching this movie with me. This is a movie I definitely would watch again. I actually was thinking about, like, I watched this on Tubi, because Tubi's the best. And I'm like, do I want to buy this? I think I might buy this. I think it was like I think the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray is like $15. I was like, that's pretty cheap. I might have to add this to the collection. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's just so ridiculous. It's goofy. The effects go from like outrageously, I don't want to say bad, but like on like the fence, and then you have some really good effects for, I don't even know how much this movie cost to make. It couldn't have been that much. It's one of those 80s horror movies that I just don't feel gets enough love, even though it might, because people I probably don't think it's good. But I really enjoyed it. I really did. I think it's goofy. If a movie's gonna make me laugh, even if it's because it's bad, I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna have a good time with it. This is definitely a movie I want to sit down and rewatch again, not having to worry about taking notes on it or anything. Like I usually state, just kind of chill and just maybe get a couple drinks in me and watch Bloody New Year on New Year's Eve, and hopefully
Yes,
not get
do it.
stuck in a time warp.
Do you think this movie may have been pared down? And I'm not super knowledgeable on the subject. I was still a little bit. Do you think this was pared down because of like the video nasties thing?
Well,
Could've been.
we're kind of out of the video nasties by this point, but the British Film Commission did chop it up somewhat. Like I did read that like the end part where dad like goes after dude with the motor, like that was all cut out. Like that was actually like a super like gory sequence that he wanted to have in it. But he's also noted, but again, like if y'all watch Inseminoid, that is insane, the shit that happens in that movie. So like it was interesting because he's kind of known for doing more wacky gory shit, like dovetailing off of like Amicus and like Hammer stuff for the UK.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
so I think it was just a producer thing.
I guess he could have.
No,
just,
you're good. You're good.
oh, sorry. I guess he could have just released it to the U.S. market, like fuck the UK market, and just.
That's the
released
thing.
to
I think it
there.
was like made specifically for the UK video market, and they were like, "We're gonna get shit for it." I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just
There you go.
hypothesizing.
You're more knowledgeable.
I'm not
than
an
I am,
expert.
so.
I'm just
Sounds
talking.
legit to me.
Well, as everybody knows, we do go to social media and ask you all what you thought of Bloody New Year. If you've seen it, we got a couple comments. Our first one is on Twitter, because I'm not calling it X anymore, at SW Productions, who just says, pretty great tagline. And the tagline for this movie is, should old acquaintance be forgot or just brutally murdered? So I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Sure.
And then at eBunny061 says, was one of our first movies we reviewed, and it gets funnier every time, which I feel 100% is the case if I were to see this again.
Okay.
So make sure to check out the Film Spark podcast run by Ebony. Great podcast. And then we have one on Threads, which I probably should have whipped that bitch out.
Go ahead, dear. Read your comment.
Oh, Dan's comment.
I commented.
It's a
No.
British documentary on theme parks.
It is a British documentary on theme parks. Okay, I will
Oh,
point
God.
this out. The hotel, Grand Island Hotel. I got to point this out.
I said it was not Nebraska.
It's not Nebraska. I'm from Nebraska. And there is a Grand Island, Nebraska. I've never been there, but it wasn't far from where
I
I live.
have.
Wow.
See, you've been there.
Mm,
I imagine it's
It's
as
very
flat as
tiny.
the rest of it.
I'm pretty sure it's a what's it called? Not a city, but like Chestnut Hill.
Oh, unincorporated? No, it's
Yeah,
a city.
unincorporated.
It's the 100%. It's not like Johnson City, Nebraska, where it's like unincorporated. It's like 2 houses and that's it. Like,
I mean, Chestnut Hill is like from here to here.
well, Chestnut Hill has the Bush baked beans factory, though.
But is that considered
That's all
part of
it
Chestnut
has.
Hill?
It is part of
It's a
Chestnut.
win.
Okay.
No, it does.
It's
There's
literally
like
unincorporated.
5 houses, and then the Bush baked beans factory, the restaurant, and the museum.
Huh.
And a rural medical. It's
And a
got
rural
medical
medical.
clinic. in it.
Yeah, so like if you ever in Chestnut Hill, Tennessee,
I
you can
think
go
there's
find, see
like-
the
I don't know.
Bush
You're not
baked
really
beans
selling
factory.
me on it right now.
I think there's like
The
2.
food's good. They got some.
I don't like
fucking pie.
Bush's baked beans.
What?
So that's I feel
I
like the
think
only
the
selling
sign
point.
says,
Of,
Like
like-
Bush's baked beans?
not a
I
baked
don't
bean
like.
guy.
I'm done.
I'm not a baked bean guy.
Oh,
Are you a
okay.
pork and beans guy?
Nope, I don't like baked beans.
The restaurant is awesome. If you ever come here, you should.
Their
Oh.
pie is
Do
fucking.
they
great.
have anything other than
No.
Bush's baked beans?
They have,
Yes.
they have a pie made out of beans.
If-
In fact, I think
Pie.
all the drinks are bean flavored. No, I'm just kidding. They do have a pie. They have a dessert pie that is beans. I'm fucking serious.
Listen, their apple pie is awesome though.
And, but they
Sounds
have good
amazing.
food. Yes,
I'm there.
and I'm not biased because I
So
clean.
good.
My company
Mhm.
cleans that facility, so I'm not being biased. It's actually good food.
It's definitely a southern food, like soul food. Like
Ugh.
Yeah, it's very
Well,
traditional.
speaking of
Talk-
baked beans, that's a breakfast fucking staple
Yeah.
in the UK. So
English
eat
breakfast,
it. That's true.
dude.
I
Don't they
love
just do
baked
pork
beans.
and beans?
beans
No,
on
it's like-
toast.
Oh, and they
I'd
also have
do
like
it.
Irish breakfast too. It's usually like 2 eggs and like tomato and beans.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't
delicious.
Irish breakfast just
That's
potatoes and
food.
coffee?
Just whiskey. I don't know what the fuck
I'm
you're
just
talking
kidding.
about.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's true. Coffee with whiskey in it. We just have moonshine here.
Hey.
That's what we just
Oh, dude,
need to drink. Have some
we-
moonshine. Wash your mouth out. drink, have some
Sugarland
moonshine.
is my favorite. Yeah.
You said that.
Just go.
So,
all you have
listen.
to do is just go in the woods.
Well, you
You'll-
guys
you're
probably got the
down-
hookup.
down to find
Like
somebody
I used
with
to-
a
everybody,
distillery.
like your neighbors probably make
You-
it.
I do.
I know a guy.
Well, we now have Old Smoky Distillery here
Well-
that makes it, which was Popcorn
Right.
Sutton's thing.
But we have the traditionalists. We have
But
people
we still
like
have people that make it.
yeah.
in
I have
the
people
woods.
like to refer
Mm.
to as good old boys. And I have a gentleman I used to work with. He's an old guy. He's like
Mm-hmm.
60 or 70 years old, and he's like, "This is the real shit. It's the people that have it that don't
Right.
talk about it."
Listen, we made it.
I know.
I was in high school, and our biology teacher made it, and we all got drops on our tongues at the end of making
I
it.
thought
Like,
you were about to
that-
say we all
that's
got
how
drunk in
drunk in
class
class.
that day.
Making
It
moonshine is part of the
shit
curriculum,
burns.
dude.
That shit burns.
That was school today,
like,
honey.
I don't.
Great.
I thought my mom was gonna freak out
you could
because I told her we don't drink.
you
My mom doesn't know I
better not
drink.
watch the
Coming
show
back
then.
looking like Steve Buscemi from.
She
No.
doesn't. She wouldn't. 'Cause
no,
I,
fuck
What are you
no.
talking about?
She
No one
wouldn't-
watches this show. What?
That's
no,
not
'cause I
true.
cuss. It wouldn't happen. No. Like, I felt so out of place tonight because everybody was like old dress, and here I am in my green hair, and I'm like, please don't look at me. Like,
I'm just like walking with my tattoos.
I know, I
blood
have
bloods and
tattoos,
blood
I'm like,
gods. I'm like, I'm at the wrong fucking church for this.
but no, like, I have never had anything other than that we made with, like, he showed us how to make moonshine in biology class.
In high school.
And
in
then you
high
make the
school.
mash.
They don't
My
fuck around
freshman
around
year
here.
of high school. Like, yeah.
You got to be careful whose property you walk in because you're gonna walk on somebody's fucking.
Oh,
skill and
yeah.
get shot.
I'm just, don't go walk.
Hell
don't
no.
go walk in the woods.
Yeah.
Just don't. You're either
Welcome.
gonna fall into a
Welcome everybody
hole-
to the history of Tennessee. I am your
Listen,
host,
I've
Brett
lived-
Parker.
I've lived
Joining
here
me are the
long
Tennessee
enough.
experts, Dan and Angela.
Not him. Just,
No.
I've lived here longer than him.
That's true. Can we talk about?
I know
the
nothing of the
Descent?
state because I don't live there.
Can we talk about the Descent reference?
Jesus
So
Christ.
you've
Of
seen
course,
The
it's one of
Descent,
my
right?
wife's
This
favorite
episode
movies.
was going to end
Yeah.
10 minutes ago.
Okay, I know, but hold on. I
Listen,
gotta
I
tell
have to
you,
pee again, so hurry.
1,500 feet from our house, 1,500 feet from our house, northwest, is a cave that's only accessible. It's 135 feet drop straight in. It's only accessible by rope. I can literally walk through it from my fucking house.
That's creepy, man. Don't
You
go
know,
in there.
Dan,
Those
you've
fucking
told
cave
this
dwellers
story
are going to get you.
before.
But Joe hasn't heard it.
Yeah,
That's what I said. I told my kids, I was like, don't go into those fucking woods.
the kids will
If
be
you
fucking
walk-
around in there for sure. I would if I was a kid.
Well, the problem is if you walk in it from our house toward where it's at,
Ugh,
you won't see it. You'll step over the rock.
you end up
and
like
fall in the
Shirley
hole
or
and
whatever
die.
her name
Yeah, you
is in the
won't
movie.
know.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Like it's true facts. Two people
Oh
we know
my
have
God,
died,
that's
like
horrible.
that have talked about died. Yep, a homeless dude and a little
Ugh.
kid. It's just, it's not blocked off. It's just
You'd
a
think
fucking
after the
hole in
first
ground.
person
my coworkers have
Fell
repelled.
down and they'd be like, maybe we should put something there. Maybe we should cover it up.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that would be too easy. People around here don't think.
No, they just
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers, dude.
Huh.
It's literally, or the
Not to be
person,
facetious.
the person that stopped in the intersection this morning on my way to work. Light turns red. Oh nope, we're just gonna in the intersection. I couldn't even get through. I'm like, do you guys not use
So
your
like if
brain?
it happens
Yeah,
kind of
good,
thing.
sorry.
Like you were supposed
Sorry.
to fall in the hole. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have paid attention.
You know who's in there? The
Yeah.
fucking tra-la-logs.
Stupid
Holes is
kids.
holes.
Yeah,
Use your
from the pit,
brain.
yeah.
Not everybody else. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. The fucking pit, man.
That's where the
Oh.
song comes from.
Our last comment is on Threads from Dustin Nelson 26, who just says, "Great weird British movie. Looking forward to your show." Hey, thanks.
It's definitely
Appreciate
out there.
it. Yeah, it was a really weird
Mhm.
British movie. 100%. Can't agree more. All right, Joe.
Yes, sir.
It was an absolute pleasure having
Thank
you
you
on
guys
the
so
show.
much for having me. It was very
And,
fun. I'm glad I got to come back on the show, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Sorry, we
No,
kept you
you're
so
good.
long.
Hopefully
We're hanging
we'll,
out,
we
talking
can-
about moonshine.
Hopefully, we can get you and Sean
For
back
sure.
on sooner than 70 episodes.
Yes, and we got to
Hopefully
have
there's
y'all
not a
on
huge
too.
gap in between, but yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're just waiting. We're over here just
Lit-
Yes.
doing
You
this
heard that.
till we hear from you guys.
Yes, for sure. We'll probably do a thing where it's like,
No.
okay, we'll have Parker
Oh,
on, and then we'll have Dan and Angela on, like 2 different episodes. No, because like I can't fit y'all on the same TV the way we do it. You know what I mean?
No, it's it's
That's
fine.
fair. 'cause it's
I
just
just
one
have to give
TV.
him crap because he's been on other people's stuff.
Yeah, I like going. I like going on
Hey.
other podcasts. around here. Yeah.
Parker
Usually it's
will be
just
invited,
Angela.
and then they'll stop inviting
Just
guests
me.
after him. It's like, fuck them. Just kidding.
Well, y'all have
It's whatever.
different. Y'all
We
have
have to give
different
him crap.
like tastes and opinions, so it's kind of we kind of get the bonus, right? Because it's like, all right, well, this is Parker's take and this is Dan and Angela's take, so
That's why that's why I have a blast.
There
doing
you
the
go.
show, because we all think on
Boom.
different brainwaves, you know. Joe, where can people find you and Movie Dumpster?
Wherever you get your podcasts. MovieDumpsterPodcast.com. We're on YouTube. We're on all the social medias. And yeah, if you're digging this show and you haven't heard us before, give us a chance and see what you think.
Also, does your wife run the Big Dumb Shirts?
My wife, that's her company. Yeah, that's her company, Big Dumb Shirts.
I want to shout that out because I'm gonna be snagging some merch.
Oh, thank
from
you.
there, and I
Just
for one, your wife
thank you.
is awesome.
She's gonna love that. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely want to shout out Big Dumb Shirts because there's some shirts I'm like, I don't fucking need those shirts, but I really need that Krampus shirt. As you can see, I'm wearing my brand new cavity colors. Krampus
You can get a
shirt
Big Dumb Shirts
with,
Krampus shirt.
Yeah. Then I'll have 3 Krampus shirts, and my wife will go, "We have children; they might get scared."
Listen, I
Don't
wore my
get over
Krampus
it.
shirt to work.
No, I have an OG. I have like a class, the one I've worn on the show before, where it's like literally Krampus stuffing children in a sack, and I've worn that in front of my kids. I wore that to Christmas.
Well,
at my in-laws' houses.
that's how they're be good. To be like,
I
look,
have
if you're not
scared,
good, this is what happens. This
Yeah.
is what happens.
Exactly.
I showed my oldest this movie way too young, and it scarred him.
Hey,
So I just got to
work
show it
with
to
a
him again.
guy who is German descent, and he's like, that scared the shit out of me as a
Krampus.
child. He's like, I don't like your shirt.
Yeah, all the links to Movie Dumpster will be down in the description. You can find Dissect That Film, of course, on all of the podcasts. I mean, you're listening to us right now. Hopefully, you're listening to us on a podcast app or on youtube.com/@Dissect That Film. I hate that you have to do the at now on YouTube.
You can't just type it in. You can't just type it.
At least this would. I think you still can, but yeah, sure. YouTube.com/Dissect That Film, where we do the video version, so you can see all of our lovely faces. Yeah. And we're on all the social medias, of course, TikTok, Twitter. TikTok's not really social media.
I don't know what the fuck TikTok is.
We're on Twitter, Instagram. But yeah, I don't know either. I post on there. I don't know how to use it though.
I just
Facebook. We're on like the ones that people are trying to introduce, Blue Sky, fucking Threads, all those things. So you can find us all over there.
I'll make our Pornhub account soon. It's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna create that for 2024, guys. And
only Dan's.
And you can
Only
find
Dan's,
my personal links and Dan and Angela's personal links will also be down in the description. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where we have ways for you guys to support us financially to help us pay for things that we use for the podcast. And we have a Patreon exclusive show called The Monster Zone, which is hosted by Dan and Angela, where we pretty much go through. Lately, it's just been 50s monster movies, and it's been an absolute blast because I think I've watched more monster movies from the 50s in 2023 than I have my entire
golden age,
life.
dude.
So
you're welcome.
This show,
so good.
The Monster Zone, has been a fun journey into a era I just never got involved with. So make sure to go over to patreon.com and subscribe over at the $3 or $5 tier and get that show. And we got awesome stuff coming in 2024. I want to say next week we got a new episode, but we're actually going to be doing something we haven't done in almost 3 years, and that is we are taking a break. We're going to be stepping away from the podcast for a little bit, try to regroup, try to do some planning, trying to figure out, we want to kind of plan out the year better than we have been in the past. And also, I just need a break because all the stuff that we do with the show, it's it's a lot. So I need to recharge, and I just figured I'd let everybody know. By the time this comes out, we're probably going to do a final live show for the year, where I'll probably be discussing this again. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. So we're planning on coming back for like February, but just follow us on any of the social medias and we'll keep you guys posted on what's going on and when we're going to be back and what movies we're going to be covering and, topics and stuff like that and all that fun stuff that has to do with it. We're not going anywhere. We're not quitting the show. We're just taking a step back, taking a break, recharging, and we're going to hit 2024 with a bang. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting the show. Joe, thank you again for being here and being a absolute just legend and being a huge inspiration for us here This isn't just trying to, as people would say, chase clout. But seriously,
Spread the cheeks.
You're not getting brownie points with me.
Movie Dumpster.
Yes.
Movie Dumpster is 100% a huge inspiration for our show, and you and many other shows, but your show primarily is one of the reasons why that I keep doing the show and why I want to keep doing the show, along with getting to hang out with Dan and Angela every week. And so thank you so much.
I really appreciate that, man.
What you do means a lot to us.
I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for having me.
He takes compliments like
Do
I
what?
do. You take compliments like I do. It's very awkward.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that.
I know how to give a
I
compliment.
think that's fucking incredible, and I think it's so
Yeah.
cool that we can inspire you to make your art and do the things that you want to do. So that's really rad. I wish I saw myself the way you do, but I really appreciate the kind words.
I feel that.
I feel like that's most people. You can't see yourself in that type
No.
of way. But yeah, I know how to give compliments. I am not good at taking them. So,
Yeah.
but yes, it's
I got a
all
good
with
pair of knee
sincerity.
pads at home.
We really appreciate you, and definitely it's a big deal when we ask somebody like for me to ask somebody like you to come on.
Thanks,
the show
man.
and say,
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're friends.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I feel like we've known each other for years now. It's crazy.
for sure.
Jesus.
Oh!
But
Don't forget.
before I
Go to
keep-
dissectthatfilm.com/fake taxi. Don't forget that one.
Yes. Yes.
That site will be up in 2027. Oh man! But before I
Keep it
ramble
time.
on, thank you everybody again
2
for all
hours.
the support. Yep, we're getting there. Thank you all for the support and listening to us every single week. We appreciate you very much. Thank you to all of our patrons. You rock, and just keep being awesome. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan Angel of DNA Gaming, and that is Joe La Scola from Movie Dumpster. And this has been the Dissect That Film podcast, episode 139. We'll see you all again next year. Dun, dun, dun,
Have a bloody new year.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.